Well, we are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody. Today, we have a very special guest. Mr. Vern Laird is with us. How are you, dude?
It's so funny because you get to hear it, now I'm on this side and I'm just like, how special am I? Like, I'm not as special as like half the guests that you guys have had. So
Vern, you're special in our eyes.
Yeah.
And the industry. Listen, OG Philly head, filmer, announcer for stuff, Bones. I mean, you want Swiss bearings, man. Hit up, Vern's got you.
Don't hit me up.
No. I'm sure so many people hit you up. It's got to be unreal.
His email's Vern Laird 222-111-12222 at Bones. Yeah.
There you go. That's exactly it.
Yeah. See? I email you all the time. I don't get any boxes, though.
They're in the mail.
How are you?
I'm great. This is crazy being in here and my phone's vibrating in my pocket. Like, it's like, damn, man. I almost want to answer it, but it's like, just wait. That's the life of a team manager, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, your phone is nonstop.
Oh, yeah. And it doesn't stop.
That's a crazy one, too, because, like, you're not only a team manager of, like, a team, but a huge team.
And a great product.
Great product. Yeah. It's like a very sought after product.
Yeah.
Is it... Listen, I mean, you're going to throw everybody under the bus right now, but like it must be fucking annoying to try to accommodate everybody.
Yes, it's time consuming. It consumes more of my time than you could ever imagine.
I'm sure.
Like the team list is big, like globally, because there's like international people that I deal with directly.
You got to send international stuff.
Wow.
Yes and no. I try and wait for them to be here in the States because shipping is crazy expensive. It was already expensive back in the day. Like, it was already hard to send stuff international, but now shipping is like through the roof. So it's like, yo, you're coming. Like, there's a bunch of Brazilians coming like pretty soon. So they're all hitting me up. I'm like, hell yeah. Like, I'm gonna lace you up for a good year. Yeah,
you're gonna be good.
Yeah, because it's insane. But yeah, so there's a lot of people that I deal with.
I want to ask this right away. You've been a team manager for a long time. I'm pretty new relative to what's going on, but like, what's your advice to people when they want something like a package? How do they reach out to you? What time of day, or is it email?
Thank you.
Yeah, like get this out there.
Do not hit your team manager up after office hours. Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 Pacific Standard Time.
Email though. I'll send an email at 8 p.m. at night.
Because I don't want that alert coming through at 8 o'clock. Man, what are you doing at 8 o'clock?
I'm watching TV.
Do you want to be bothered?
No, but I want a box.
Exactly.
I want a box of bearings.
What if I'm watching TV? What if I'm watching Curb Your Enthusiasm or something, like the new season? Like, I don't want to be bothered. It's my time.
Yeah, email's different, though.
Nah, because the alert comes through on my phone.
You got to change it. You got to change it.
Yeah, but I gotta have my alerts on. I gotta have. Dude, if it's like my boss hit me up at 8 o'clock at night? That's different. But a team rider, like on a Saturday night at like midnight, yo man, need this box. It's like, for real, Saturday night at midnight.
How about this?
Office doesn't even open till Monday.
Yeah,
you come up with a new email just for team riders. Then you can turn that alert off, and then
just look at it Monday through Friday.
Yeah,
there, you're onto something. But what about when they text me? Send me a DM through
Change your
Instagram.
Number.
I already had to turn the alerts off on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because like, that's insane. My phone would seriously be nonstop.
Right. And are these people hitting, like, it's bones bearings?
That's it. It's just for bearings.
But I mean, like, is it people that are on the team, or you have people like left field hitting you up? That
both. And
right.
It's weird. I mean, I guess my information's out there. Like, if they could put 2 and 2 together, they'll like.
Oh, we're gonna put your Instagram right here on the lower third.
Oh, that's right. So now, like, even more people are gonna be like, "Yo, that's the dude to hit up. I'm trying to get some Swiss."
But then they're like, "Hey, did you see my email?" And they DM you, be like, "Hey, did you see my email that I sent?" Like, you're like, "Oh gosh, all right."
Yeah, it's. You know what's nice is when they send that DM on Instagram, but you're not friends, so it goes to that other folder, and they don't know you've seen it, so you hit accept.
Yes.
Man, I get hit up a lot that way. It's like, I just never hit accept.
That's where all my DMs go.
But I see it.
All my DMs are going in there.
Because I follow you on Instagram, man. You're making that up.
My bad.
But you know what's funny? It's not like we're like talking shit on people doing that. It's more of like trying to tell people, hey, be respectful to people that are working and doing this all day. Because at nighttime we're chilling at home.
But we're also talking about a team, like you just said. It's international. It's huge. It's an enormous team.
So again, I let it slide if I know the person's in another country and there's like a 9-hour time difference.
That's okay.
That's different. Right. Man, if you're here in LA, I live in LA, don't hit me up on Saturday at midnight, because what do you want me to do? Oh yeah, I got you on that box. I'm gonna hit up the warehouse guy because he's got nothing better to do. You know, it's Saturday night. I'm sure he's not with his family or something. I had somebody just hit me up. I don't want to say his name because I love this dude.
Just whisper it into the mic. You want.
Tislam Smith.
Okay.
Tislam is awesome. The best. But it's
awesome.
like, dude, you're hitting me up about a payment on like a Saturday night. You want me to hit up the accountant right now? Because she's got nothing else to do. And it's like, and then I was like, hey, or can this wait till Monday morning, 9:00? Oh, it could wait till Monday. So that's what I just want to get into their heads. Like, just let it marinate, like Monday through Friday. Like, you need a box. Like, who the hell is thinking of a box at midnight on Saturday? You're just sitting around smoking weed like, yo, I need to get this box. Let me get burned up. It's like, for real, you got nothing better to do? Like, for real.
I love the trials and tribulations of a team manager.
And like, what's even worse is I'm still like a skate rat.
Yeah.
It's like somebody's hit me up on Sunday when I'm out skating. It's like, why aren't you out skating? If I'm out skating and trying to get a clip for myself for the gram, why aren't you doing that?
Yeah.
You got something better to do than hit me up for this damn box.
It's so funny.
Get those clips, man.
Because it's
straight up.
It's accumulative, right? It's not just like 6 people on the team you have to deal with. It's like the ding 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 ding. Your email's just going crazy.
And it's nonstop.
Right.
And
so we feel your pain.
No doubt.
You know? I mean,
sure.
I don't, but
I bet
Kelly feels my pain. Because Kelly, you're team managing for like 2 brands now?
Pretty much right now. Yeah. And I will say this, and sometimes you get hit by people that don't ride for your brand, that ride for somebody else. And
I get hit up. Well, so not so much anymore. Definitely when I first got the job, definitely people are hitting me up and I'm like, bro, you got like a pro bearing on this other brand. Like, why are you hitting me up? And my boss sees every order that goes out. And my boss knows too, because the internet's right there. It's like, yo, so-and-so rides for this brand. Why are we sending him our product?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't even do it, even if I wanted to, because it's going to get flagged.
Do you have a budget for bearings?
Yes, I do.
You do. So you have to then stay within that budget
Stay
for
within
the
my
month.
budget. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And it's like, and you know, and then like once it gets to the end of the month and you get all these people hitting you up, I'm like, I can't send you any boxes till like first of the month.
Yeah.
You got to restart.
You know, and it's like, and people are like waiting on their box. I'm like, well, first off, like, what are you doing to be going through this many Swiss? How many are you selling to the shop? Like, come on, man. Like,
How many
Vern,
bearings?
he knows what you're doing now.
I already, there used to be a team rider that would have his packages sent straight to FTC.
Amazing.
And it's just like, bro, I already know you're selling this because you're hitting me up every month. Swiss lasts longer than a month.
The first time
come on.
The first time I realized how valuable Bones Swiss bearings was back in the day. I was skating with Eric Costin, and Eric, if people were taking apart their wheels and they were ditching their bearings for new bearings, Eric would take their old bearings and put them in a bag because they were Swiss. And Swiss just get better over time. It's like the lube goes away. It's got that noise.
Makes that noise.
Yeah.
They get faster with time.
And I'm
it's
like,
like they're fine wine.
I'm like, if Eric Costin is saving people's old bearings, these must be the shit. And that's when I finally realized, I was like, damn.
I've heard the stories from Eric too.
Yeah.
Because like I've tried to send Eric a box when I heard he was riding people's old stuff. He's like, nah, man, the old stuff's good because it's already broken in.
Right.
There's no break-in period.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
Wow,
it's
up.
funny. And then I'm like, can I put you on the team? Yeah, it's going to cost you this much. I'm like, I can't put you on the team. And it's like my favorite skater. Like, can't put you on, man. Like, I can't afford you.
I don't got the budget for you, man.
It's like, I could still send you some stuff without ever saying you're on the team because you're Eric Costin. There's people like that where it's like, you're not on the team, but you are who you are.
Yeah.
So
They got
here's your
carte
box.
blanche.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. You've earned it.
Let's ask you.
Costin has earned a world.
Oh, dude, Costin.
No doubt.
Yes.
I want to ask a question though, because like I skate Bone Swiss religiously. And
Of course you do, because I send you them.
I haven't gotten a box in a while. I'm about to DM you right now.
Well, because they last forever.
They do.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
personally, I mean, we go skate the beach. There's sand, but I mean, bro, I love the old bearings. Anyway, ceramics. I want to
Never
know.
skated them.
Okay.
I'm not worthy of skate. I've skated the red ceramics. I've never skated the bone Swiss ceramics.
Bone Swiss ceramics are expensive.
Yes.
And I want to know. I've always wanted to know. I've never tried them. I always wanted to know what is the difference in feel, speed, sound, all that stuff.
Isn't that weird to say that I've worked there for 12 years? I've never skated them because, first off, there's maintenance involved, and I'm lazy. Because now I get Swiss for free. I'm not about to clean my bearings or anything like that. If something goes wrong, like, you need to maintain them. Like, once my Swiss are like, and I skate my Swiss for a long time, but once I feel them like slowing, I'm like, I'm not putting any speed cream or lube. I'm not cleaning them because you know what? I get them for free.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do that to the ceramics because I already know. I'm like, I just feel as though I haven't earned it yet. Because I still put this, you know how many people I send ceramics to? I could tell you the whole list. It's Mark Gonzalez.
That's it.
Gons. That's all he skates.
Wow.
Gons is like,
He's
and
worthy.
Gons, yeah, my all-time favorite
Yeah,
skater.
he's definitely worthy.
So Gons gets like the cleaning kit, the speed cream, because he's that guy. Like, I mean, I'm gonna try and do my Gons way. He's like, I just want to take care of my bearings. You know, it's like the ceramic. You know, it's Gons. So he asked for the whole kit.
Okay.
So it's like,
that.
well, he's gonna properly take care of them.
Right.
But like, I've sent ceramics to Jimmy Wilkins. But it's Jimmy Wilkins.
Jimmy Wilkins.
So
I didn't
it's like,
read. I'm
but
sorry.
it's limited. Like, you know, who
Yeah.
I've sent them to. Like, other people have asked and I've denied them. Like, I don't send anything to Tony because Tony's above my pay grade. I don't deal with Tony Hawk, but he's on the team. But someone else,
Someone else
Someone
I'm
else is dealing with him.
Rob Washburn.
Oh,
Yeah, because
okay.
he's also Tony's on Bones Wheels. So like,
Oh, direct. Okay.
so he probably just gets the ceramics or whatever he skates. So it's like I don't,
makes sense.
I don't have any contact info for Tony. It's
Well,
like
we
it's
got it.
not like I
I'll-
could text him.
I got
or
I got his
anything.
number.
Like,
I'll give it to you after the
maybe
show.
you know, I don't have that clearance yet to deal with Tony Hawk.
I didn't realize that there was so much maintenance involved in the ceramics.
Well,
Yeah.
also I feel like if you're going to skate street, like I feel like it's going to not make your product last as long. Like I feel like something like a ceramic, it's like better for transition or bowls or
Right.
something like that. Because we're street skaters. I don't jump down shit, but there's dudes that jump down shit, and it's like, man, it's like more wear and tear.
Well,
on
see,
all
this
your
is the thing: is like
products.
bones bearings, ceramic, $163. And I know
Yes.
there's probably skaters out there like 160. What am I going to put? What like what?
You know, longboarders ride them because
Oh.
of like the speed,
Yeah.
and like when they spend like tons of money on their setups.
Yeah.
You know, so I know it's big within that longboard.
Are you talking about
world.
long, like downhill?
Yeah.
Like downhill, the
Like,
racing.
these are going
not
like-
like the kooks pushing Mongo here on the path in Venice. Yeah, you got like sandals and pushing Mongo on the
Just
longboard.
using it to get around.
I mean, they might have ceramics.
They got
in
the
there.
ceramics.
They have the money, but I'm talking about the guys that
50
are like
miles an hour.
or more down those hills, and like I'm like those dudes are using the bearing for what the
For what it
purpose
is, yeah.
is. You know what I mean? Like we're just gonna not take care of our stuff. It's like most of these dudes want to set up new Swiss every time they set up new wheels, and it's
Yeah.
like you can't do that with the ceramics. You got to take them out and put them in your new wheels.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a lot of dudes are lazy, and I'm lazy. Every time I set up new wheels, I set up new Swiss.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm just saying, I'm lazy.
hey.
Even though the Swiss are still good, guess what? The kid at the skate park, you don't know what you're getting when I give you these wheels.
That's true.
You're getting that treat inside your
it
wheels.
is a
yeah.
treat. It is
Yeah.
a treat. And there's
So-
always the discussion of like popping the caps off or not popping the caps off, and like
Popped my shield once.
that's it, really.
Well, the shield is there for a reason, to keep the dirt out.
But the dirt's the best part when it
You
gets in
did.
there and it dries out the grease.
You get your true lifespan of the bearing when you don't take the shield off.
Makes
But
sense.
know.
yeah, I guess so.
But
We like
again,
that- we like that
spoiled.
side.
Yeah.
of
I
it.
We're
tried
spoiled.
it
Yeah.
once, and it was recently, like a year ago.
Okay.
And because someone's like, "Man, you don't pop the shields." It was probably like Bobby Worst or something. He's like, "Yeah, you got to get that raw sound,
Yeah.
like, you know."
That's the
And
reason,
so-
though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you have the
that's what
shield on,
everyone-
it feels
yeah.
like almost
Oh,
hollow or
it's
something
solid.
weird.
It's too
silent.
Yeah, or so
It's silent.
Yeah,
man.
it's like weird.
Right
Yeah.
now, I'm super silent, like Dragon Wheels and Swiss. You can't even hear me coming. Can't even hear me. I'm like rolling up on the spot, and then I show up. You're like, damn, Vern's here.
It's like that Mr. Deeds guy.
Just pops up.
The butler.
Yeah, that's me.
Jeez.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting. Bearings. I'm a lazy dude too. You know, it's
lazy.
like, but I do. I mean, that is the one thing that I will do. I'll remove that bearing and put it in my new board.
Same.
Because I have.
Yeah.
It's already broken in. It's the best.
Yeah, but I ride my stuff to the bitter end. I'm almost
Okay.
like a Vincent Alvarez type of dude where I like to
Yeah.
ride it to the bitter end now.
Got you.
And I have like several setups
Right.
too, so I'm like kind of crazy. So it depends on what I'm skating. I have a different setup for the terrain.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
What's the price of this the Swiss bearings right now?
Well, the retail price is $63. That's suggested, but
Yeah.
some shops sell them for less. Supreme. And some shops sell them for more because you're going into Supreme. You're not going in there to buy some Swiss, but when I seen the price, I'm like, damn, that's cheap.
Wow.
Man.
Okay.
But yeah, there was a couple
Wow.
other shops. United in Long Beach used to sell them for really cheap.
Okay.
Where I'm like, whoa, you guys aren't making a margin, but I mean, we have a suggested price, but like with anything, you order more, you get better pricing from sales reps. So,
Well, if you
but
pay,
we don't suggest you sell it for that less than that because then like other shops will get pissed.
For sure.
But,
Sure.
and they
Word
might
of
be
mouth.
a little more expensive than the other bearings, but they're gonna last. Way
They're gonna
longer.
last.
They are.
Yeah.
They are
If-
the epitome of quality.
Yeah, if you take care of them, they'll
Definitely.
last you for years. Because like
Right.
there'll be some random dude like, yo, I've had my Swiss for like 10 years. I'm like, God damn, like
Don't have to send you a box, I guess.
Yeah, it's like damn, that's not a customer anymore because you bought 'em. It's like
The
how are we
product's too
gonna
damn
make-
good.
Product's too good. We're not going to make any more money off of this guy. Like, damn it.
We talked about like the trials and tribulations of a team manager, but do you still enjoy it though?
Of course, or I still wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
Still
okay.
got skaters staying at my damn house.
Okay.
Months. You know what I
Nice,
mean?
nice.
One in the studio with me right
Yeah,
now,
there we
staying
go.
at my
Amazing.
house. Like,
That's so cool, man.
yeah, I mean, it's skateboarding, man. I still love every aspect of it. And mostly because I hear my mom complain about her job. And it's
Okay.
like, man, I have it so good.
Totally.
Because there's so many, like, and I just got back from Philly, so there's like a bunch of people I skate with, like all my old heads that work like regular 9 to 5s. And it's just like, and they look at my life through Instagram, like, damn, you're in Brazil, you're in Barcelona, you're like all over the place. And it's like, I can't give this up, man.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
Right.
yeah, it's crazy. Like you gotta deal with a lot of personalities.
Sure.
That's the difficult part. So many people, so many different personalities. So,
Right.
but I mean, I'd rather do that than to go into some job where it's like I walk into the office and I hate everybody. Like that's why there's like probably shooting sprees at work. It's like, God damn, I hate
bruh.
all these motherfuckers. Blah. Like
It
It
yeah.
turns into a
So,
fucking nightmare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like I can't complain. It's great.
You can't give that up.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's the best part about skating is the traveling. And,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of personalities, but that's
Yeah.
what makes it great too.
You understand people better.
Sure.
Like when you travel somewhere and you're with that person, different culture, everything, it helps you understand the world.
Right.
Like you can't really learn it through a movie or a book until you really see it firsthand.
Experience it.
So it's great, man. I and you get to see all these newer kids coming up. Like I was just in Tampa Am and all these little Japanese kids killing it like harder than I've
Gnarly.
ever imagined. So it's
Even just
interesting to
just
see where it's
being
going.
that young.
Yeah.
And just and not like pro status.
Yeah,
For sure.
There's almost like the top 12 at like Tampa Am, like it's almost no different than like a pro.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's insane.
I feel like at every Tampa Am, there's like those couple that are like,
Yeah.
oh, pro status.
Yeah.
We still am.
Like Daiki is like on some other level.
Yeah.
Like
Just bugging out
that
on him.
run, holy crap.
3 minute.
Yeah.
No, no,
Like,
no. That's the you're talking about Jinwoo.
no.
Oh,
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
talking
both of
about
those.
Daiki.
Both of them.
Daiki.
Both of those kids.
Daiki was like after the run, it was still going, and you're just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was so good.
yeah.
So
I
good.
didn't think that Daiki. I knew Daiki was really good, but after
Yeah.
watching Jinwoo, I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know if anyone could beat him. And then he put
Yeah.
that last run at the last
Yeah.
minute, and that was amazing.
That
man.
was like probably the best thing I've ever. And I've been going to Tampa since '98. That's probably one of the best runs I've ever.
You
seen.
go there every
Yeah.
year.
I missed it. I think one year I was in Australia working like a Vans Park series. So like we're at breakfast, we're huddled around a computer watching the stream, you know? It's like, damn, that's the first one I missed since 98. So
Wow. That's
yeah.
a record.
Dedication.
That's a
Hell
record
yeah.
right there.
I started skating it in 98, and by 99 I was filming it, and I was like, well, that's over.
So wait a minute. You started skating in 98 and you
No, I skated Tampa Am in
Oh, I'm
98.
sorry.
I started skating
I was
in
about to say
87.
I was
Yeah,
so
right.
fucking
No,
I was so
no.
confused
No.
right there.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. This dude's lying.
This is my Tampa. This is my
Bro.
Tampa Am experience. 1998, Tampa Am. Clyde Singleton's on the mic, and I already know Clyde, so I'm like, man, he's already talking shit before I drop in. I whiff like a kickflip over the pyramid, like just whiff. And I'm just, God damn. And that's when Clyde goes in even harder, and I'm like, God damn, I still got to do a run, because this was like the days of like 60-second run. You're there
Yeah.
solo, like there's no jam.
No.
And like second run, I did way better than the first run. But mind you, after like my first run, I had to go after Rick McCrank. Rick McCrank's first trick over the pyramid was nollie hard flip. My first trick is kick flip.
Yeah.
I already knew that I was like, well, I'm out.
and you whiffed, and you whiffed the first
And
one.
I whiffed
so
it. Yeah. Second run, I made the kick flip.
Who were you sponsored by when you went there?
Local brand called Philadelphia Experiment.
Philadelphia Experiment.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Named after a movie, Philadelphia
Yes.
Experiment. Yes.
How many years had you been skating? When did you start?
1987.
87.
1987, summer, July 1987.
Same.
You remember the month?
So, because
How do
check,
you-
how do I remember
Yeah.
this? Because the next month, August 87, I have the flyer. Bones Brigade did a demo in Philly. And that was the first demo I seen in my life. And the first video I saw was Future Primitive. And then these dudes come to town.
So
And I was like,
good.
oh shit, I just watched these guys like in a movie. And I'm like
In a
13.
movie.
Yeah,
I'm 13,
That's
so
a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie.
it's an hour-long movie. So I'm like, these are the dudes. And fucking Jesse Martinez destroyed the demo. Still in my head. Jesse Martinez killed the jump ramp. I was like, damn, I never seen shit like this in real life with my own eyes.
Yeah.
So that was like my first favorite pro skater.
Was it a demo
damn.
like
So
at a
rad.
skate shop or just like a?
So Spike Skates was our shop in Philly.
Okay.
They did the demo. And they did it at this area like kind of near Penn's Landing and kind of near Rat Curbs. And the place was called Rat Curbs because there was a lot of rats. But there was like this open area. So this shop, Spikes, used to do contests. In the summer, it was Philly Fry because it's fucking hot. And in the winter, it was Philly Freeze because you're freezing your ass off. So they would do 2 contests a year. And they were the shop doing all the demos.
Okay.
And that was also the first shop I got my first board at.
Oh, wow.
So, and friends with the person who owns the shop to this day.
That's so
That's
rad.
Or all his
amazing.
parents own the shop. So my homie Cosmo Baker, famous DJ in Philly, if you guys Google him or look him up
Dope.
on Instagram. But his dad used to roadie for Hall & Oates.
Wow.
No way.
Philadelphia famous band, Hall & Oates.
Yes, they are.
So Cosmo got into skating, parents opened the shop.
And the shop's still there?
No, the shop was
I was gonna
done
say.
by like 91, I want to say.
4
So
years.
he's the same age as you?
Cosmo's
Or-
the same age
Okay,
as me.
gotcha,
Yeah, yeah.
gotcha.
So,
So you're essentially
Yeah.
sponsored by the shop.
no.
because-
I had to pay full price. Are you kidding me?
Really? No, not even
Nah,
a discount
man.
code to check out?
Nah, man, I paid full price
on.
first. I paid full price for everything. There was no.
Damn.
I was just some little grom that happened to know people or know, you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
I'm like not anybody. Like, yeah, full price, kid.
How far away from Love Park did you live?
Growing up or later in life.
When you started skating?
So
and-
87, I started skating. You could take the train downtown and like be at Love Park in like 15 minutes.
was that? I'm sure you grew up skating like whatever was close in your neighborhood, right?
Yeah, I had a little crew
Gotcha.
Yeah.
When did you start to venture out to like the city?
to downtown.
Like how old were you?
That was like 88.
So
So it was like 14. Yeah, because like before that, I used to ride BMX bikes. And I know Kelly hates BMXers because
No,
I watched some
here we
old ass
go.
9 Club where Kelly was hating on BMX.
We already patched everything up. We're all good.
Yeah, we
Which
put that
one
under
was
the
the
rug.
first one that Kelly said he hated? Because I watched it recently.
He said he didn't.
You're making him uncomfortable, bro.
Oh my god! For all the BMXers listening right now, we had Dakota Roche on the show. It's all good.
I know. But I'm going back in time because I was listening to some old ones recently, and I was all like, "Let me go back in some old one." And like Kelly was talking about it.
There was just
With
like
the pegs, like
pegs
messing
and
up
the-
the
they used to fuck up the ledges, but now
yeah.
they fixed it.
Yeah.
Now they have. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's all good.
Yeah.
You know,
Kelly's come a long
we all
way.
can
But,
live together in harmony. You know?
Yeah. So 86, I got into BMX.
Okay.
And then those bikes were heavy back in the day.
Yes, they were.
Man, and I'm skinny. I was skinnier then. I couldn't even pop a wheelie on those things. I'm like, man, how am I going to do tricks? Trying to watch that movie Rad, and
Yes.
can't get
Backflip.
Rad. And I seen this kid, Mike Ritzius. I got to shout him out, because that dude forever changed my life. I seen him do a bomb drop off a car. And I was like, holy shit, that dude jumped off a car onto a skateboard. I'm like, that's cooler than what I'm doing. And we're like basically like the same age. And I started talking to him, and then he took me under the wing. That was the first dude I ever met.
that's sick.
Northeast Philly legend Mike Ritzius.
Okay.
All the OGs in Northeast Philly know who Mike Ritzius is, but
Gotcha.
that dude hooked me up, took me to Spikes, said, "This is the shop. You're getting this board. I got a Gons." Because he said Mark Gonzalez was the best skater. Still is.
That's rad. That's rad that you had somebody to.
I had a dude.
Yeah.
Because he's like, all right, we're watching Future Primitive and we're watching Thrashing and like. And then
good.
like the next block over, there was a record store called Philadelphia Record Exchange. Sold all the punk records. Like, this is the music skaters listen to. So I'm like getting a Misfits record and like a Minor Threat and Dead Kennedys. Like, I got like a crash course in like punk and skating and like right away.
Wow. That's rad.
Because that's
super
how it
dope.
was in '87, I guess. I don't know.
You're spreading the good word.
I noticed that there was other things in skating, but like my whole world for like that first year was like punk and skating were like the same.
Right.
And that's all I knew. And Spikes would bring a jump ramp out in front of the store because they were like, South Street is like the main street, and they were on this side street past Young, and like no cars really drove down it. So on the weekends, they would pull a jump ramp out, and Roger Brown be tweaking method airs off the jump ramp. And I'm like, this dude's sick.
Would you try to go off the jump ramp?
Oh man, I was like afraid. See, even this day, I don't like skating in front of more than 5 people.
I kind of, I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
My legs get all jello-y, like, oh, everyone's watching me.
You're like a
understand
homie
it.
skater.
Yes.
You want to skate with the homies.
That's
and that's
right.
it. I'm kind of on the same.
Yeah.
It gets a little, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Some
it's
people
weird.
thrive on it though.
No, I can't, man. I like when I watch Street League and I see these dudes, I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna do this trick. I need a 9.5 or something on this last try. There's a sold out arena. I'm like, dude, there's no way. I would miss my tail. I'd sack myself. Like,
Well, it
there's
depends
no way.
it just depends how comfortable you are. Because when I was like fully skating, I didn't care. I'll skate in front of anyone. But now I'm like, I'll get my homies and I'll do my own thing.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you don't feel
there
confident.
you go.
for sure.
Look at that. Where'd you guys pull this photo up from? Did I take that?
Roger's a Google master.
That's right there. That was the area where Spikes would do the demos and the concerts. That looks like Philly Freeze because everyone looks like they're freezing.
Right.
Yeah, so that might be winter of '87 or winter of '80. Probably '87. Just look at the freestyle. Like everyone at home on YouTube see what I'm seeing. Or like what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's bringing back memories. Like if you scroll through more of these photos, like there's a photo of me in the background, like the OG skate photographer Adam Walcavage is like doing a wall ride, and I'm standing next to the wall, and I'm all like psyched because I just know because the homie Brian who shoots all the Street League contests, he's another OG Philly skater, so he used to shoot a lot of the photos from back in the day, and he sent me a photo. He's like, look, your background at this contest, and that's Adam doing a wall ride.
No way.
Yeah. It's pretty sick. I think I posted on my like Facebook like a million years ago.
So
it's like an old
wait a minute.
photo.
So we're scrolling through this real quick.
Oh, there
this
I am.
is-
So wait, no,
This
not
isn't it?
that. No, that's not Adam. But that's like kind of like the same contest. Oh, Skate John. I know those guys. That's Roger Brown right there. Board sliding up.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Damn, that's
board
so
sliding
sick.
up that PVC.
double PVC.
Yeah. So when I made my first box,
Look at that.
I didn't.
Look at that flat. Look at that up.
How is that not
By
sliding
the way.
everywhere either?
Look at that. That's
I don't know, but I just know like when I made my first box with like my grandfather's tools, I had to cut the PVC in half because I didn't have enough for both sides of the box. And so I nailed PVC onto it was the worst thing ever.
You know what's-
like you're grinding PVC and you hit a nail.
Oh
and
my
it's like
God.
just
Yeah,
stops you. It's like,
funniest thing is
fuck?
like anybody from our era definitely built a double PVC
Yeah.
flat.
You put
rail.
1,000%.
Oh yeah.
I should have not been using tools. I had no idea what I was doing, but that's the whole era right there of good times. But that's the wall ride. Like I wish there was the Adam Wall Cabbage.
Maybe we could
photo.
find it, but I just wanted to
Yeah.
scroll through real quick though and see.
Yeah, that's you're bringing me back to my childhood right there.
Man, same here, bro.
You said that was at
good.
Penn's Landing.
So that's Penn's Landing.
Yeah.
So Rat Curbs is like kind of go back to that photo again.
one?
So right there, that's Rat Curbs actually, like where the PVC thing is. So you see the ledges, like where the people are standing on it in the background. We would skate that spot a lot in, like I would say like. I would say like 90, 91 when all the nose slide, the crooked grind combos came out because those ledges were super round and they were low. So that was the only time I thrived at that trick was that one spot. And they were on all four sides because it's like a perfect square. So you could just skate around in like a circle and hit them all backside, then hit them all front side.
Is that spot still
I was
there?
about to say.
Rat Curbs is still there, but it's like I think it's like a Korean War memorial now. So there's like this memorial statue, I think in the center or near it. So sometimes some veteran dudes get like salty if you're skating it.
Yeah.
But those things are so round and the ground's so shitty. It's like you don't really want to skate there.
Yeah.
Like I haven't even gone to that part of Philly in so long. I don't know, man. I have no business being over there. Like, you know, like when I'm back home in Philly, it's like, oh, I'm going to go to Muni because I know all the dudes are skating Muni. So it's like, then you get caught there all day or
Right.
you skate like the library spot or now the art museum's like a big spot. So there's other spots to skate. So it's like, I'm not going back to some of the other ones just because the ground's shitty.
How is it being from Phillies, growing up there, skating Muni, skating Love, and then seeing this new generation? Like everybody, it's like you pass the torch to them, and they're almost in '90s fits. Also,
Yeah. I mean, we've been doing a lot of jumping around. Like all your interviews are usually there's some timeline, but I feel like I've been jumping all
This
over
is
the place.
great, though.
But
Yeah.
it's fine.
It makes
All
sense. It makes
so
sense.
I moved to LA in 2002. I didn't go back to Philly until 2007. So there was a 5-year period. I missed the beginning of the Sabotage crew. Just because the girl I was dating at the time, she hated Philly. And once we moved out of there, she's like, well, we're never coming back here. Because she wasn't from Philly. She just went to school there.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, we're moving to LA. Like, she graduated college. She's like, we're moving to LA. I'm like, okay, I already got a job lined up here, so it's fine for me. Like, she was trying to be an actress, chase that dream.
LA's hit the
And then,
place.
it didn't work out
Okay.
because it doesn't work out for most people. But
It's tough. It's tough in
yeah,
business.
it's like, oh, I know more people in Hollywood than her. Like, you know what I
Maybe
mean?
you should be coming out.
No. Yo, Steve Berra, hook it up. What's up, man?
There you go.
But no, seriously. So we never went back home I never went back home for holidays or any of that stuff. And then when she dumped me, because they always dump you, I finally made it back to Philly, and I went back for Christmas, and the dude Brian Panabianco, we call him Penny. He does all the Sabotage videos. He said the first time he saw me, I came through City Hall blazing through, ollie up to 3, 50-50 a bench, ollie down to 6, mash through City Hall. Didn't even say hi to anybody. Didn't say shit. This is like 2007. Just kept it moving.
Why kept it? Why?
I didn't know any of these dudes, and I hadn't been there for 5 years. They're probably like, "Who the hell's this old dude?" And I'm not even that old at the time, but like in my mind, to these younger dudes, I'm like, I'm like just some old guy that disappeared from Philly. Like I live in LA. Like these dudes don't know who the hell I am. You know what I mean? So like, and then I remember maybe the following summer, I saw 40 Jason, our homie, OG Love Park dude. I seen him. And I went up and started talking to him because this is when I realized that people were skating Love Park again. Like, I think by this time, Jimmy Gorecki told me about Chris Mulhern. And Chris Mulhern made this video called I'd Rather Be Skating Cecil. And Cecil B. Moore is like a street at Temple University. And back when I went to Temple, you couldn't even skate the campus. But this became a spot, you know, after Love Park. You know, part of the reason I was down the move in 2002 because Love Park was like, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know it was still going to be skatable. You know, like a fence goes up, Josh moves, Stevie moves. I'm like, well, I'm out of here too. Fuck it. I'll move to LA. Like,
makes sense.
Love Park's gone. Like, whatever. So when I went, then I noticed the newer generation, they were skating Cecil B. Moore. And I was like, what? There's a whole video of dudes skating this little plaza at Temple. And then Chris made This Time Tomorrow or something, like, or whatever, the next video. And I think at this point, I was working at Listen. And at Listen, Shimmery was my boss, but Shimmery was also my boss at 411. So she was always down for independent filmmakers. I was like, hey, we should order a bunch of this dude's videos and sell them with our Listen boards. And she's like, yeah, I'm down. So we bought like, I don't know, 500,000. I don't know. Wow. But we bought some videos, and that video was sick, and it sold pretty well. I still had no idea who the hell Chris Mulhern was. I had no idea who any of these Philly dudes were. But the fact that they were like keeping the scene going, I'm like, I want to support it. And then I discovered what Sabotage was. It was like, damn, man, this is like Sabotage 3. I missed the first 2 videos. Like, what the hell's going on?
You did not keep up with it whatsoever.
No, because, you know, I was living in LA. There's so much going on here in LA.
That's true.
I was working. I mean, I started at 411, then I went to Aesthetics in Elwood, then Listen.
You kind of immersed yourself into the LA.
I wasn't allowed to go back to Philly because of the girl I was dating at the time. So I was detached. She was from Washington, D.C. So my Christmas and Thanksgiving was spent skating Pulaski with Paul McElroy, a.k.a. Toast.
Wow.
Because that was the one OG homie I had. Because this is before Bobby Worst was like on the scene. So this is like going back, and like a lot of the older dudes at Pulaski had moved on, you know? Like, so Paul was still around. So Paul was like my dude, like, yo, I'm here a couple days for the holidays, like, skate Pulaski. So I was like more of what was going on there with just me and Paul than I was with what was going on in Philly.
That's so interesting.
And
well, the Sabotage dudes, they didn't like, YouTube wasn't even there yet.
It was, but it wasn't
big,
a thing.
It wasn't big enough to like the people in LA were looking at the Sabotage videos.
Yeah,
it was pretty like. Anything outside of LA, we didn't really see it.
I was too busy trying to get Viajeros Locos taken off of YouTube because we were trying to make money off of video.
Dude,
I was trying to pull
There was
a
very hot minute where every skate company was trying to pull their shit down off of YouTube.
Because you couldn't monetize it back then.
Exactly.
So,
and you're selling DVDs.
Yeah.
It's ruining sales.
We put so much money into that video where it's like, we have to recoup this money.
Right.
And the one and only time I ever went on a Slap message board, I was like pleading with people to like not post a video, support this small brand, buy the video.
How was that received?
It wasn't. So I was one and done with Slap message board. So yeah, it's like, fuck that.
That's a good video, dude. You guys killed it in that video. That video was awesome.
That was like a lot of like my hard work, years of like filming. And you know, skateboarding wasn't as consistent as it is now. So like a lot of these tricks, not to throw Danny Montoya under the bus, but Danny Montoya made me work harder than I've ever worked in my life.
As far as like taking a little while to get the trick?
Yes. You know, like we're in Milan at that train station spot across
best
the
spot.
line across the street over the grate.
yeah,
God
yeah,
damn,
yeah.
that must have taken a week.
Seriously.
I'm not even lying. We were in Milan for a week, pretty much to get that
to
line.
get that line. Wow.
Sorry, Danny, but it was hard work. Like
I feel your pain.
Yeah, Roger. knows.
Roger knows because Roger was working on the audio stuff back then, so he knows. But Danny's stuff, it was all worth it.
Yeah.
Like when you look at like all the tricks that he did, it's worth all the hours because look at the
doubt.
outcome.
Exactly.
Like, like even Rob G, the back 5-0, back 360 out, like at his part.
Yeah.
God, I think the dude ended up filming that because I went so many times with Rob G, and like we couldn't get it. Like he couldn't get the full rotation, you know what I mean? So it was
Brian Brown part. In
Brian
that,
Brown, yeah.
his
Brian
part-
Brown was on fire because he had like a Transworld part around that time and maybe like audio. Like Brian was like killing it.
Yeah.
I feel like there was that time though. It was like, I mean, shit was being sped up really quickly for
Yeah.
a lot of the time, but then there was that moment in time where there were those really good consistent people, but the majority of the skateboarder population was like really working.
Oh, yeah.
for
Working.
tricks.
Yeah,
We were working. Like now when I watch all these dudes do their stuff first try, I'm like, must be nice.
Yeah,
It's like, you know, my back is broken from out here filming these lines for like
totally.
hours. Like
Yeah.
you could clock in like an 8-hour day to like film one line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One, just one trick.
One trick.
Easy.
Yeah.
Story
It was-
of my whole professional career.
Another note, Gabriel De La Mora's part, only one trick is in the United States. I had to go to Mexico to film all of his stuff
oh, really?
because he hated traveling.
Was it in
United
Right,
Tijuana?
it's close though.
Well, he lived in Tijuana, but we filmed a lot of stuff. It was like Mexico City. There's Mazatlan. There's like a lot of spots all over Mexico.
That's dope.
We would drive to Ensenada. Like I would drive to Ensenada like for one day to get one trick.
How did you even
Like-
get in contact with him? Because he like
So he was briefly living in Santa Ana, across the street from that bougie mall. What's the fancy
South
mall?
Coast Plaza?
South Coast Plaza.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like him and all these Mexican skaters had an apartment. This dude, Shadid.
oh yeah.
Shadid, he was getting like deluxe flow. This dude, Turtle, Tortuga.
Oh, yeah.
So all those dudes had their like little crib because they're like, yo, we're going to come to the United States and we're going to get sponsored. And I'm like, yeah, all right. Like Gabe sent a tape because our listen office was in Costa Mesa. Oh, this little plaza. Gabe's skating still. I just sent him a box.
I never
so
s-
that plaza's in Tijuana.
Okay.
This little bank thing is in TJ. Almost got jacked filming at night in TJ.
Really?
Yo, like so there's a back tail that he does like pops out over a sidewalk into the street right here.
Oh,
Okay.
So, I thought he popped over street. But anyway, that spot, I think around the corner, there's like something he was trying to do to land into the street. I lit that thing up. And this is like midnight
dude.
in TJ, just me and Gabe. And this car dude circles us like a couple times. And Gabe's like, yo, let me see the cell phone. I got to call the homies. So he calls reinforcements. Homies come as the car is rolling up again. And they just never come back again because they were circling us to plot to see how many we're with, what's going on. Here I am with like a VX, lights, generator, the whole kit, and it's just me and Gabe.
They were circling you like sharks.
Yeah, they were sussing us out like,
Crazy.
we're gonna get these dudes, we're gonna get this camera, but yeah, I drove to Ensenada just to get that trick one day. Like, yo, I got this spot, Ensenada, and it's like, all right, drive straight there.
What year did?
That spot? Oh, that's a spot in the United States. That's in Phoenix.
That's a one trick.
That's the one trick. But that spot, I got jacked by the cops in TJ. I thought they were coming to kick us out of the spot because it's like an abandoned like car dealership. They just see me with the camera and walk me to an ATM, and I got to give them money.
It didn't help
Just
that
because.
It didn't help that he was from there. and
No,
like,
no. But that's how the cops roll
Okay.
sometimes in those countries. That happened to us in Colombia when we were filming for the Listen video.
What year did the Listen video come out, by the way? Just to get a little reference.
2007. We premiered it in Hollywood July of 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But
it was a dope company, man.
It
I
was.
really liked it.
little
dude.
ahead of the time. You want to know how that came about?
Yeah.
Because Danny couldn't get on chocolate, man. How long was he chocolate flow? Were you even on chocolate when he was like getting chocolate
Yeah,
flow?
2007. Yeah, I mean,
I remember seeing that. Like,
Yeah.
is he gonna get on or not?
So this was.
There's a revolving door of dudes that never got on, and Danny was definitely one.
Hey, I'm waiting for my fucking call from Rick. I've been waiting to get on
You've been on
chocolate
flow for a minute, bro.
Dubs, why'd you vote no?
I mean,
That wasn't me.
Oh,
I mean,
That
at
wasn't
least
me.
Sam laces me up with boards because there's, like when Listen went out of business, I'm like, this is all I can ride. So I ride girl and chocolate boards. So Sam still laces me up. But
trust me.
Hell
I
yeah.
can't get on the team.
Shout out
man.
to Sam.
Trust me, there's been so many people that I've wanted on,
Bro.
and like it's just never transpired.
We can name so many, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
Tiago. They're just, I can't. I'm not
Yeah, you
even
guys
go
had
there.
Carlos
JP.
Yeah.
JB Gillett was like
Yeah.
on chocolate for like a day or something, and it was like
I know,
like
man.
Rodney talked him out of it, or day one or
Dude.
something.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think that was when Artifact was that.
Yeah, Artifact. It was brief.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was when
Dwindle.
Artifact they were doing that, and JB was like on, and I don't know, it was a whole
dude.
thing.
Then we went to Deca or something like that. Is that?
Oh, maybe it was Deca.
Yeah, because
might
he was on
have been
Deca.
Deca.
Was
That's
Deca?
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah.
But so it was.
Maybe you'll get the call, Vern. I don't know.
So Listen came about because I was working at Aesthetics in Elwood at the time, and all the Aesthetics team quit to go to Zoo.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, you were my team manager.
I
for
was. I put this dude on Elwood.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, what's up?
Thank you.
Was that the
dude.
time where Sal took over Zoo York?
Zoo, yeah.
Okay,
So-
so he was bringing everybody over.
So, God, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I was
Please
working.
do.
All right, so I moved to LA 2002, but I think in 2000, Chris Ortiz was like, dude, you need to move out here. You got to be more involved with day to day in the industry. I'm like, fuck that, man. I got Philly. I got Love Park. I'm chilling, man. I'm like, every time I go to California, all I do is sit in traffic. Like, fuck this place. Like, it takes like hours to get to one spot. I'm like, and at this time, I was living like about a 10 to 15 minute skate to Love Park. Like, I could just get out my front door, camera bag on, push up to Love Park,
Sick.
film whoever's there.
Right.
I'm like, I'm your 411 dude on the East Coast.
Coast, yeah.
Plus, I'm like, I'm only a 6-hour flight to Europe. You guys are sending me to goddamn contests every summer. I'm like, I could just go to Europe mad quick. Like, I ain't moving to fucking LA. But when the girl wanted to move to LA, I'm like, well, I guess I'm moving to LA.
yeah.
And I'm all like, well, I ain't moving to Orange County. Like, this place sucks. like, because at that time, 411 just moved from Costa Mesa to Fountain Valley. And I was like, fuck, this place is boring as hell.
Fountain
Coming
Valley.
from Philly, going to there is not.
It
yeah.
was like, I need an easy transition from Philly city life to LA.
Sure.
And at that time, Ben, Colin, and Joey Pepper just moved to LA. And I know them dudes. I already knew Felix. They all lived on the same street. I think like Sue Trin and like Cooper Wilt had their apartment. So I'm like, damn, I'm moving to Hollywood because all the dudes I know already live in Hollywood. And I'm like, man, this place is rough and grimy like Philly anyway. So
Like, cool.
yeah,
Like,
like,
good.
like I'm in here. So yeah. Moved to Hollywood. Felix was all hyped. Felix like, sick, got filming right down the street. Like, Felix picking me up. And I remember my first session in LA. It was so crazy. Felix and Jerry Fowler picked me up. Drive me to Ojai. And I'm like, where the fuck is Ojai?
It's like a 2-hour drive, maybe 2.5. Yeah.
Sitting in Felix's car forever. We get out at a pool. We go to a fucking pool. Out this van is Lance Mountain, Mike Carroll, Ray Barbie.
Damn.
Oh wow.
This is my first filming session in LA.
Felix didn't fill you in on who was going to be
Nah,
there?
he didn't tell me
Wow,
shit.
Okay.
And I was like, so I ended up filming some clips of Lance that got in the Friends section of the Zero video.
Sick.
And I was just like, dude, I can't believe I'm filming these dudes. And I'm like, first off, I'm like, Mike Carroll skates a pool? And I was like, what the hell? Ray Barbie skates a pool? Like, this is like a backyard, like, pool. Like, this isn't like a skate park bowl. Like, this is like, fuck, man, if you go over like the stairs, like, this is gnarly. These dudes are hitting
That's so
coping
sick.
and shit. Like, I'm just
God.
like, God damn, this is fucking crazy. I was like, LA's the sickest. Look at who I'm going to be skating with every day. And then it was all downhill
It was
from
all
there. I was
Came in hot.
Damn, I came in hot.
Hopes and
it was
dreams
like-
were crushed.
It was like a fizzle after that. It's just like, Because then it was like, you're working for 411, and then they're like, Chris Ortiz, like, okay, you got to film with Leo Romero. And at the time, I'm like, who the fuck is Leo Romero? And like, I got to drive out to like Fontana. And I'm like, you got a Thomas guy back in the day. So it's like, I'm like, where the hell is Fontana? I'm looking on the map, and I meet up with like Leo and like Matt Allen. I'm like, who the fuck are these kids? And all they're doing is hucking down rails. And I'd never really seen that shit before in real life because I grew up at Love Park Plaza. People are skating flat ground and ledges. Here's these like little kids just going ham. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. This is like a video, but I'm filming it. Like this is something I would see like on a 411.
Now you're in the middle of it.
And I'm like, God damn, this is crazy. And that's how Ortiz would be like, all right, you're going with this dude, this dude, this dude. And I'm like, I would film with like so many random people.
He was planning out your sessions with people.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I knew like my East Coast homies that lived in LA, but I didn't know people beyond
Got
that.
you.
So Ortiz would be like, all right, this dude's getting, whatever, Wheels of Fortune or something, in an issue. So it's like, you got to go wherever the fuck they live and film with strangers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just some dude showing up. I don't know them. They don't know me. Like,
but what's one of your favorite ones back in the 4-in-1 days that maybe surprised you? Like, I never thought I would really like this guy, and then we filmed this rad part together.
God damn, Leo Romero. Wasn't he Sodi? God damn.
That's amazing.
Dude, like, just to see, like, where he came from, like, me not knowing who he was, and, like, some dude on the come up, and then he's Sodi, and he loves Martin, so that, like... he watches episodes of Martin to this day.
Okay.
I was going to say Martin Lawrence?
Martin Lawrence, yeah.
Sinclair put me onto that, and I was all like,
it's the
dude,
best.
I'm like, because I still watch Martin, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, damn, Leo loves Martin. So it was cool. Like, I mean, there were so many people, like, along the way, because Ortiz knew from the get-go that I was down to travel. Because, like, he would just send me on the weirdest shit. Like, I remember... I went to China in like 2000 by myself with like a couple of rollerbladers and a couple BMXers and a couple of like vert pros from like Europe. Like this dude, Peter King from London.
This is for 411.
Oh, okay.
This is for 411. So some guy in China, oh God, man, I can't remember. I can almost remember his name. Tall ass Asian dude. But he wanted coverage of skaters in China.
Okay.
And there was going to be the first ever Asian X Games. So I go out there just to film, and it was awful.
Really?
These dudes weren't up on the level. This is 2000. So this is 22 years ago.
Okay.
I'm in China, and I'm at this contest, and it was like, whatever, like super basic stuff. And then I went to Shanghai. The contest was in Beijing. Then I went to Shanghai afterwards because I linked up with some of the dudes that were in the contest. There was one random dude who grew up in South Carolina, but his parents were Asian or something. So he lived there, and he was the one dude that could speak English out of that crew. Because, like, no one's speaking English. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm trying to get these dudes to jump down stuff. And this is when 411 did the world reports.
Oh, yeah.
So we did this, like, little world report thing, and it was awful. Because there was no good footage, because the skating wasn't at that level. The dude from China was bummed, because he's like, why is this only, like, 1 minute long? And I'm like, because that's all I could muster. You know what I mean? Like, and I was getting kids hurt, because I'm telling them to do things, like, yo, you need to do this, you need to do that. And it's like, man, I'm gonna get these kids broke off because their level of skating just wasn't there. But but from me wanting to travel a lot, that's how we started doing the around the world videos, and that only lasted like 2 issues because it was going to be a whole thing that me and Claraval wanted to do separate. Because me and Claraval have always been on this like, we're traveling, we're gonna do this shit. And
Claraval stayed traveling.
Yeah. But that was like the plan.
Okay.
Like, just but we weren't making money off of those videos, and they were like so much money to like go. Because like that first around the world, I went to India for 3 weeks.
Oh damn!
And it's like, who the hell is skating in India? Nobody.
Who do you know in India as a tour guide?
Nikhil Thayer.
Oh wow!
So Nikhil Thayer's parents live in India, so he was always going back every year to visit his family.
Interesting.
Kenny Reed, the traveler at the time,
Yes, he
good
definitely
friends with Nikhil, was like, hey, man, we're going to do like a skate trip out of you going to India to visit your parents. So Lance Dawes is down. And it was supposed to be the Kennys in India, like Kenny Hughes, Kenny Reed, Kenny Anderson.
Wow.
Kenny Anderson backed out last minute.
Kenny.
How did the piece turn out? I don't remember it.
This was February 2001, I think we went to India. And it was, I mean, there's more touristy stuff than there is skating. It was like a 15-minute segment in Around the World, and maybe 5 minutes of it.
It was
skating.
15 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, because we like that whole video was like an hour long, and there
were
was
sections
there
of-
was
I
other
got you.
countries.
I got you.
I think Roger had something in the first one. I think Ecuador.
Ecuador.
Yes.
Okay. Dope.
Yeah. So, yeah, but you know, like there's just monkeys and you know the random shit that
Touristy,
happens
right.
in India.
The
You know?
pyramids.
There's no pyramids there. What? No. There's a Taj Mahal.
Oh, the Taj Mahal.
There it is. There it is.
I had Egypt in my mind.
Yeah,
so,
no.
yeah.
I think Josh Stewart did a trip to Egypt with Kenny.
I was gonna say Kenny Reed had a
Yeah.
photo. I
Yeah,
think
he's
with
like
the-
on a camel
Yeah,
with a
yeah,
pyramid.
yeah. That's what I
Yeah.
had. That's a vision I had in my mind.
Never made it to Egypt yet.
I want to go.
Yeah, so do I.
I want to
wanna
go.
go.
Trying to
It's
see
like-
a pyramid
I
and a
want to see a
camel.
pyramid.
Yeah.
When does this line up with the forming Listen? Because like,
Oh, sorry,
you were working
I
with-
was jumping.
No, I love these stories.
I'm sorry, man.
No,
My
you're good.
brain is scattered.
But
I can't
I-
stay in the
no,
Before
timeline.
we get to listen, because in between there's a little section I want to say is like doing
Elwood
what's it called?
stand.
4-on-1.
Not 4-on-1, but why am I blanking? On video.
Oh, so God, on video, they were clicky. We were talking about clicks in skateboarding. So there was a click within our own 411 building. It's
so?
like, well, on video was the cool guys because they were the cool video that didn't come out every other month and do all these other contest videos. Like they looked at 411s like, you guys just do whatever because you got a video coming out all the time. We're more exclusive because we only do 4 videos a year and we concentrate on these certain things.
How long did on video last?
Not long.
2 years?
Maybe.
It was a good concept.
It was.
It was ahead of
Yeah.
its time.
Ahead of its time. Nodis doing the art. So it's like, damn, I would see Nodis in the building sometimes, and like the little kid in me is like, even now when I see Nodis at the curbs, I'm like, God damn, that's Nodis.
Me too.
Like there's
Everyone
only
does.
certain skaters that it still like hits me. It's like, oh, that's fucking Nodis.
I'm not even a celebrity guy.
yeah.
But like,
No, I'm
Nodis,
not a
I'm like,
celebrity
man,
guy.
There's fucking Nodis.
And it's hard to be a celebrity guy when you're a team manager because once you start to know these people, you already hate them. And it's like all the cool shit you ever thought about somebody. Oh, it sucks. It's like this motherfucker sucks. I hate this dude.
You've been
And
revealed.
I'm not Kelly. You know,
Well,
man.
that just happens in general.
knows.
Anyone that you looked up to and you find
Yeah.
out they're
They
an
just
asshole,
suck.
you're like, oh, it takes everything out. You're like, damn,
Yeah.
I just.
I will say it's not that way for every pro, but it is like that for about 99%.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
99% is very strong.
Yes.
What
bro.
pros are you talking? I don't
Yeah.
have that same experience.
Because you're not in charge of free Swiss.
This is damn true. This is damn true.
It just sucks. But anyway, let's go back to
This is
on
fascinating.
video.
I want to know more.
So-
I want to know names. I want to know addresses.
No, I can't mention
Everyone
dudes by
just
name.
sucks.
Everyone sucks. Just generalize it, okay? They all suck. Because it hurts when it's like somebody that's like, damn, this dude's like my favorite, and then I got to meet him, like, fuck, this dude sucks.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say his name because I have some favorites that ended up sucking.
Really?
It's going to happen.
Yeah, it
it's
just
going to happen.
sucks,
It is going to happen,
Because
but
I'll still watch the
99%
video
is strong,
part.
though.
99% is
Because
strong.
I deal with a lot, dude. I deal with
from
every.
your
But
end,
is it just dealing with the actual like the way that they approach getting free
Yes.
stuff?
Yeah, like a lot of people like think they're entitled to so
I can
much
see
stuff.
that.
Like just their mentalities. It's
Yeah.
just like fuck, man. You just
I can see that.
because you could tell who's been handed stuff for
Yeah.
like a very long time.
I mean, you're dealing with
Yeah.
a majority of skaters who have been handed stuff since they were a teen, like maybe even
yeah.
earlier than that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
for sure. It's It just sucks,
Okay,
man.
yeah.
And I mean, like I said, it's not
How do
everyone.
you feel about everybody
I mean,
in this
look,
room right
I'm wearing one of my favorite skater shirts. This dude
Yes.
does not suck.
Ray Barbie.
No, he does not.
He
Well,
does
you can
not
tell-
suck.
You can tell when people are genuine and care
Yeah.
and love what they do,
Yeah.
and some people are like just pissed off at what they do and they take it out on you.
Yeah,
And you're
it
like,
just-
dude,
like, come on, man.
You
It's
don't
like
have to
it's
act like that.
skateboarding.
Yeah.
It's
It's
skateboarding. We get
skateboarding,
to
yeah.
we get to ride a little piece of a toy
Yeah.
around and travel the world and get paid for it.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
But to go back to on video, though,
99% strong.
sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
shocked, but go ahead.
So I was never allowed to do anything for on video until the Love Park story came about.
Of course, yeah. You
Were you-
had
were
all
you-
the footage.
Important piece.
Important piece.
Were you stoked to work on it, or were you just
I was
bitter
just
because they were
yes and yes.
Was that the last one?
That might have been the last one.
Love story?
Love story. So, Kurt Deanda was like kind of the mastermind behind that. And he was always the cool guy in the building. Sorry, Kurt, but you were the cool guy.
That dude grew up in Orange County. He was always nice to me, and
Yeah, he was cool though. All those dudes were cool guys that worked on. You know who was sick actually? Who wasn't a cool guy is Winco. Winco was sick.
Winco
he's
is
OG.
Like Mickey Vukovic worked a lot on video. He's awesome. It's just Kurt was like he was super elitist about it. Sorry, Kurt. I love you. Love you, Kurt, if you're watching.
But that's the impression that was left.
But that's how I felt in that building. When I first moved to LA, I did my interview for this the same night as the DC Shoes video premiere at the Grauman Theater.
Wow.
So I had to go to some one of these dudes who worked at Hollywood or lived in Hollywood Hills, but he worked at 411. God, I can't remember his name because he was part of the downfall of 411. He sucked. God, I wish I could remember his name, but he sucked. Everyone that worked at 411 knows who I'm talking about. I just can't remember his name. Somehow he became all buddy-buddy with Johnny Schilleroff. And he weaseled his way in. Not a skater at all, but just like a business numbers guy.
The weasel guy.
A little weasel. And when he got in there, that's when I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here. And luckily for me, Sal Barbier pulled me out of there. It's like, Vern, I want you to come work for me at Aesthetics in Elwood. And I'm just like, thank God, like another one of my all-time favorite skaters who doesn't suck.
Dude,
Oh, man. I couldn't imagine listening to you two talk to each other.
God.
But
Oh,
Me
my
and
goodness.
Sal clicked from like day one. It's like, dude, we're separated at birth.
I know.
But so the on video dude, sorry, I keep sidetracking myself. So I go to this dude's house or his buddy's house. It's Hollywood Hills, so that's like the backdrop. And we do my interview for the thing. And then I have to go and shoot the premiere because at 411 we used to do all the video premiere. They were like the little sections. So here I am on Hollywood Boulevard filming. It's like a full red carpet, if you guys remember. Everyone's rolling up. And I'm shooting it from different angles on Hollywood Boulevard. And I got tourists like, what's going on? I was like, oh, it's the new Robert De Niro movie. And I'm just fully fucking with people like for the whole time. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, Al Pacino film. It's premiering tonight. You should go over there and like see if you can see him. So, like, leave me alone. I'm just trying to film this thing.
Right.
But they asked for a lot of like my old Love Park footage and to help them with stuff and go through stuff. And I got to help assist, as far as logging tapes and all that stuff.
that must have been fun. 'Cause
It was
that's
cool.
A lot of good
Yeah.
footage. You
It was
Yeah,
great.
dude.
It was great. And a lot of Fat Bill's. I don't know. Do we still call him Fat Bill or is it just Bill Strobeck?
Bill Strobeck.
Bill Strobeck.
I mean, for us,
He's
like,
evolved.
When I met him, he was Fat Bill.
Right.
So.
We all knew that. for
But
sure.
and he just had another Supreme video.
Bruh,
just dropped.
congrats
So,
on that shit.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen it.
Almost changed my flight to go to the premiere because
Really?
I literally was just in Philly yesterday. So like they're like, you staying? You gonna go to New York? I'm like, no, I can't. Got to get back. Got things to do, but I'm like, I'll catch it.
Yeah.
But I'm psyched for Bill and everything
Yeah.
he does. He's great.
Yeah, bro.
And Bill had so much good Love Park footage because I was always traveling a lot. So Bill was at Love Park a lot and so much good Josh Kalis footage. Like he's got the best Josh Kalis footage, I think.
Sure.
And like, Wenning and Pappalardo, like all those dudes, man, because it was such a good time period.
For sure.
What was it like going down to Love Park at that time?
Fuck, let's go back. Let's go back. So,
because we're talking, what year?
We're going to talk back to 1988 when it wasn't really a spot. And I talked to the older dudes like Chuck Treese and Adam Walcavage because they're the generation before me. And I was like, hey, were you guys skating Love Park before my generation got there? And he's like, yeah, but it wasn't really a spot because they would skate the whole city. And that's kind of what I would do with my little crew when I was like 14. We would start at Penn's Landing because that's the far east side of the city, like next to the river. And then we would just skate everything all the way to West Philly, all the way to like the college campuses like UPenn and Drexel.
Where is Love
Park
situated?
Is 15th Street. So it's right in the middle. So Penn's Landing would ultimately be like First Street.
So it's like start, middle, end.
Yeah. Okay. And then like all the universities are out like in the 30s.
Gotcha.
And Love Park is in 15th. So we would just all day. But you would hit Love Park for a little bit and then kind of keep it moving. It wasn't until all the dudes I started skating with quit skating. And it's like, then you got to find a new crew. Because like, well, I'm not quitting. And, you know, there's all these phases. Like there was like the ho-ho street plant era. Those dudes were around. Then the jump ramps came out and those dudes sucked at that and they quit. Then the jump... I'm just saying, this is how it went. Like,
especially in the late 80s.
Because like, dude, when I started skating, it was about doing ho-hos and sad plants and all this shit.
In a circle.
You would be in a circle with your boys, and you'd just be out there trying, like, kind of like that scene from Animal Chin, where they're all in the circle doing street
plants. It's almost
plants.
like a breakdancing circle, but you're skating.
Yeah, but you're skating. And I used to break dance before I rode BMX, because Beach Street came out, and I thought I was like a graffiti writer, because my older cousin used to do graffiti and he got caught and had to be in this anti-graffiti network in Philly and like, but I was following his footsteps and I'm like, and Beach Street was like my life in 84. I'm like, yo man, I'm gonna be breakdancing and fucking graffiti, and I sucked at all of it because I'm like scrawny. I'm like a little kid. I can't windmill. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I can't get myself up, and I'm not an artist. Like, my graffiti sucked.
It's so crazy. The cultural trends that were happening and colliding at that time was fucking phenomenal. Obviously, skateboarding was a part of it. Like you said, punk, graffiti, just down the line. And we're all trying to, like, gravitate towards what's working for me. Skateboarding was obviously working for me. So.
I mean, it really wasn't working for me, but I wanted it to work for me. You know what I mean? Like, I was trying to make it work because I didn't fit in with like what everybody else in school was doing. Like I wasn't like really a jock, like even though I played baseball for like 9 years, but like once you get to high school level, those pitches come in faster. Oh yeah, you're like, God damn, man, I can't even see this now. Like,
and they're like, and they're not even controlled. They're wild.
They're wild. And I was like, fuck, I'm getting hit all the time in my shoulder. I'm like, this shit sucks. Like, I'd rather be skating, getting hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
So so like all that basketball, like I'm like, yo man, these dudes are taking it serious. Like, you're not the next Dr. J. Like, the fuck out of here. Like, I was just so over like the team sports, and skating was something you could do either with your crew or solo. Yep. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep doing this, and I'll find different dudes. And that's when I discovered there was people at Love Park, and this is about 1990, because 89, that was like the no complies were coming in. And dudes couldn't do that. They killed it at the jump ramp, so they quit. And then, damn, when those pressure flips came in, I almost quit. I almost quit.
I think a lot of people almost quit.
I was the last motherfucker at Love Park to learn how to pressure flip.
The phases are so real. The phases of skateboarding at that time were so real, and it was happening so fast, dude.
Yeah. But it's so funny how the pressure flips came in, but they were so whack. And then everybody was doing them. And then it's like that. Thank God it went away. But it's coming back now, and I kind of enjoy it now.
Yo, I saw this kid at Tampa pop his pressure flip.
Oh, how crazy was that?
That was the most legit pressure flip I've ever seen.
He could do big spin or big spin pressure flip from a board.
Dude,
I've seen a lot of people.
That was legit.
Popping.
I normally hate that trick, but I was like, because DeVille was sitting next to me, and DeVille knows I like hate on everything, and DeVille's like, I can't believe you like the pressure flip, kid. I'm like, you see how good he's doing this shit?
Right.
Like, you can't hate on it.
You know what I would say about that? I would give advice to that kid to not. He's so good at that to diversify. Do some kickflips, heel flips, and all that stuff.
He's gonna beat it into the ground.
He was like doing
or not. Hopefully he doesn't.
Yeah, but he was doing like.
I mean, Nate sure would have made a career out of pressure.
Oh yeah, but that was gross. Sorry, Nate. And I filmed a lot with Nate, and I just hung out with Nate in Iowa because he's got a skate shop.
He's awesome.
He's the best, but like, oh man, I hated that shit. Sorry, Nate.
Well, pressure flips again. They were just this trick that came in.
Yeah.
But once you learn them, and like especially nowadays, like pressure flip to Manny, like it's a fun. It's a fun trick.
No, everything's fun now. That's the thing. That's the thing that's cool about skating. That I actually am enjoying right now. Everything's cool. You can skate curves. You can do no complies. You can do fucking whatever you want. As long as you're having fun.
Exactly. Yeah, and as long as you make it look good.
True. That too.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for It's important to look good. So when we're in Philly now and the pressure flips came, you almost
we're gonna
quit.
go. We're gonna go before that because 1990 is when I discovered there was a scene, and so. Basically, it was my story was everybody's story. We all had the same story. You're the only dude in your high school that skates. And Love Park is in the middle of downtown. So everybody from all the surrounding neighborhoods in the city or the suburbs, you could take the train because there's literally a train station right below Love Park. So all the trains, whether you're in the city or the suburbs, they all meet at the train station right below Love Park. So, that was my high school because I didn't hang out with anybody. It's like as soon as school is out, it was like almost a race to see who could get to Love Park first. And mostly because there was this all-girls Catholic school down the street called Hallahan. And you're trying to see these girls come through. And you're trying to like impress these girls.
You wanted to get there before they got out. So you
it's like, I'm gonna bust these tricks for these girls that probably don't give a fuck about skateboarding. But you know what I mean? Like, and back then, definitely girls weren't looking at dudes that rode a skateboard.
No.
They were like, what the fuck, this dude? Like, what the hell are you doing with your life?
Paying attention to
like you got no attention, so you just end up, but like all those dudes, like I'm still tight with a lot of the dudes I grew up skating with to this day. And, people would come and go, but so that was like 90, and then pressure flips came along. What was that, like 92?
Yeah, and
it's
around that, like Chris Fissel. Oh man, I don't know that dude, but that dude almost made me quit skating because that shit is gross. I'm sorry.
You despise the pressure flip.
Well, it was all the back foot flip shit. I hated
the late flips. Yeah,
I hated all of that shit because I couldn't do it. That's why I hated it. I sucked at it. And it made me
Now we know why.
I sucked at it. Like that 1281 video.
Oh, yeah, 1281. Yeah.
God, that video was like, I almost quit, dude. Because the crazy thing is Useless Wooden Toys, amazing video.
So good, bro.
1281, not the same. God,
didn't have the same effect.
No, because of all the gross. Because skating was just gross. There was like no style.
Yeah. Right.
It was just tricks. Who can do the hardest tricks? And there was so much. Ugh. God,
there was.
Like in my
I
head.
can't deny it, but it was still attractive to a degree.
No.
Where I was just for me, it was for sure.
No, because I was having this conversation with my homie Angel just the other day, and we were talking about the first time I met Mike Maldonado, and it was about 92. That motherfucker went big. So right across the street from Love Park's 10 Stair, the Muni 10 Stair, I seen Maldonado late shove at that shit in 92.
Front side?
What?
Back
yeah. No, the front side late shove it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, yo, this dude's a fucking beast. This is like better than what I'm doing, a little pressure flip circle. Because there was pressure flip circles too.
Sure.
Oh,
God, dude.
There was no pressure flip
We
circles.
had them at Love Park.
No, we didn't have that out.
Yeah,
in Cali.
unfortunately, we had stupid pressure flip circles.
No, it was just hand
Front side pressure flips,
Yeah.
regular pressure flips, straight pressure flip. Oh,
yeah.
my goodness.
Then the switch 180 pressure flip, like a switch front side pressure flip, like all that shit.
Flip circles going on there.
So check this out.
I don't know about the circle.
Wow.
I still remember the day when Stevie kind of started skating, more or less, because Stevie was coming around that time. This little motherfucker could pressure flip before me. I was so pissed. I was like, God damn it, you just started skating and you can already pressure flip.
That's that beginner's luck shit. But nah, it wasn't no beginner's luck shit.
But I remember I could beat Stevie in games of skate because you could still do no complies. Like your foot could be on the ground. And Stevie wasn't around for that era.
Right.
And he's like, yo, why weren't you like sponsored and pro? You get. I'm like, because these tricks are easy as shit. Your foot is already on the ground. Okay. There is nothing difficult. Like it was difficult to learn eventually. Like yo, when you got in there, like when I saw Ray Barbie, it's all beautiful and Matt Hensley, you know, these dudes cruising down the sidewalk, like doing all this shit. I'm like, damn, I want to do it. And then like you learn it. By the time I'm learning, them dudes are already learning other shit. Yeah, because we were so far behind. Like the videos were like a year old by the time I'm watching them.
Yeah,
at least. And I didn't get that reality check till I finally went to California. I'm like, damn, dude, I'm way behind. These motherfuckers are good. But yeah, it was 90 something. Yeah, 90 pressure flips. God. Yeah, Maldonado.
Maldonado.
Yeah, that was the dude. Maldonado was like a beast. Man, dude. He came on the scene like gangbusters.
There must have been a bunch of people coming on the scene that you're just like, whoa, dude.
Yeah, and we didn't have like how you guys in California had the whole industry, like the magazines and video cameras. We didn't have all that. So a lot of stuff got undocumented.
Right.
Like a lot of stuff that I saw, like I don't know if you remember this dude Jerry Fisher, but oh man, after Questionable came out, I seen him lip slide the Muni rail. And the Muni rail was taller back then. And I was like, and he did a 50-50 down it and a lip slide. Then he came over to Love Park and he's nose blunt sliding the ledges. I was like, this dude's like Pat Duffy. I just watched Pat Duffy kill it in this video. Now there's this other dude. And we didn't all know each other because a lot of new dudes were showing up around 92, 93.
Okay.
You start getting transplants from other parts of Pennsylvania because Jerry was from like Williamsport where they do Little League World Series.
Okay.
Did you even realize how good Love Park was at that point? Like when you first started going there?
No, because I realize how good it is now. And I fucking missed the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I missed that shit and I wasn't even from there.
So back in those days, we just knew it was our spot because it wasn't a bust. Philly was shitty. There's still a lot of crime, but there was so much crime. Like cops didn't care what the hell we were doing. You never got kicked out. It wasn't a bust until like 96.
Gotcha.
So up until then, it was like a free for all. You know, like, dude, just the shit you see there is like a kid, like people doing drugs, bums having sex. You know what I mean? Like it's just wild shit.
I remember going through it like 91, 92, and it was definitely eye opening for me as a young kid, like tripping on the scene for sure.
Yeah, like, you know, we didn't really get a lot of pros coming through, so it was like a big deal if someone came through and you remembered that shit too, like especially if they were cool or did some good shit. Like I mean, all the New Yorkers would come down, you know, like Pang. Dude, the first time I seen Jeff Pang in real life, I was like, yo, this dude is fucking so good.
Legend, right?
Like him and like, you know, Keenan, Gino, Huff.
Wow.
Dude, these dudes used to come down Ben Liver Sledge.
Ben Liver's
sick.
He
Dude.
was so good. Chris Keefe, Jones Keefe, like all these dudes used to come down, and we would trip on how good they were. It was like, yo, these dudes are so much better than us.
What do you think was holding Philly guys back from? I mean, you're talking about the West Coast being good, New York, which is right up the block.
Even the
almost.
DC dudes would come up. I remember the first time SJ came through.
Scott Johnston.
Fuck, dude. Him, Pep, Andy Stone. Dude, Matt Willigan.
Oh, yeah.
Those dudes used to come through, and it's just like, dude, these guys are on some other level. Like, I don't know what it was. I would say our best dude in Philly was from Pittsburgh, Matt Reason. Rest in peace.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
When Matt Reason showed up, God, it must have been 91. And he looked like a Gap poster boy. Bleach blonde hair, striped shirt. He skated for Acme. And, dude, and 3D clothing out of Boston. And, dude, he was so tech. It was insane, dude. Him and this dude, Greg Webb, because they came from Pittsburgh at the same time, and they were like the best. And Matt used to tell us, it's like, oh, wait till you meet my friend Kevin. He's even better. And he was talking about Kevin Taylor.
Oh, no way.
And
Kevin's from Pittsburgh.
Kevin Taylor's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So KT came, and I was like, God damn, Kevin Taylor's on some other shit. Matt wasn't lying.
Yeah.
This dude is really the best skater I've ever seen. So there was good dudes, but there you go, Matt Reason. Damn, I miss those benches, man. That ground was so shitty, but we would go to those benches at night just because it was just like, dude, he was so good, dude. Matt was seriously the best. And I used to buy boards off of him for super cheap.
$20?
Yeah, $20.
25 with grip.
Dude, switch 50-50, bro.
Switch 50-50. Matt was, and he was better than this because I've seen him do harder stuff that wasn't even like documented. Or if you go back to like the 3D video, even though it's like that weird tech phase where like maybe his style might not be as fine-tuned. This is hard. Like that spot, I just skated it. It's hard to pivot fakey on that.
Do you think
Like,
Matt?
I was struggling.
Do you think Matt Reason was one of the reasons why that got Philly skaters better?
I would like to say that, and Fred Gall, because Fred Gall came on the scene. Man, I remember the first time I seen Fred Gall skate. It was you remember this pro for Veriflex called Jeff Jones? He had a skate park down the Jersey Shore. And so, dude, this is like 91. Fred skated for New School. Not New Deal. There was a company called New School.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
So Fred was on that. And I was like, who the hell is this little kid? And there was like a 6-foot spine ramp. And he's doing nose blunts and all these tricks over the spine. He's a little kid. And then he comes to Love Park. Killed it. Yeah. First person I seen like do like the switch flip back tail on like a ledge. Like I seen Costin do it in a video, but on the red curbs, you know? And I'm like, dude, Fred is on some other shit.
For sure. At that time, he was fucking shit up.
And we're talking what year? Sorry.
This is like 94, I think.
94.
The Sub-Zero video came out in 94.
Got you. Okay.
So Fred must have been, God, like 14, 15 years old or something, man. Yeah. And, you know, and he had the cover Thrasher on Hubba. You know what I mean? Like, he was, like, killing it. All the switch tricks down Hubba.
He was. Switchback. It was like switchback nose grind, pretty much.
He was, like,
on top of that thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I would say for that time period, those dudes were the best. And even like Mike Bouchard, I don't know if you guys remember that dude.
I've heard, I know the name.
He was neighbors with Josh Kalis. So Josh Kalis was like on 8th Street back in those days.
Wow.
So Josh was already good too. So it's just like.
What year did Josh come around? 95, 96?
No, before that, because I used to live. I lived in this apartment. It was like my first skate house was like 92. After I graduated high school, lived in a skate house because I wanted to be closer to Love Park. I'm like, I got to be in downtown. So we're living in this house like right on 15th and Pine next to the UArts dorms. It was so sick because you could watch the UArts girls moving to school, you know, like I'm like 18 years old living next to this college dorm. I'm like, yes, score. But we had this little skate house, and Josh would like sometimes stay because I think his mom lived in like Levittown, a little bit outside the city, and Mike Bouchard like lived out that way. So Josh would crash sometimes on the floor, and dude, Josh was so good. And it was good because I got to stay at Josh's when he moved to SF. Right. Like, this is my homie. I already stayed at my house. I'm staying at your crib.
Time to return the favor.
There you go.
Yeah, because Josh was already on that level where I think he already kind of outgrew Philly because he left early. He was around early, but he left early.
Really?
Yeah, because he was on like Toy Machine early, and like, because after 8th Street, I think he probably went to Toy. I'm not.
Was at that the tail end of 8th Street, right?
He was at the tail end of 8th Street, and he wasn't on Evol when it became.
Yeah, it changed up.
It changed up because that was like around the time I know like Mike Maldonado and Bam were on like Evol. Like those dude, Bam was so good too. Yeah. And Bam used to have to come with his dad to Love Park. And his dad looked like Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah, because I watched a lot of WWF back in the day.
As we did. Oh, did.
Yeah, but like, dude, Love Park was so rough. Like, Bam couldn't be sent into that. You know what I mean? Because dudes were getting jacked.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Dudes got jacked for boards and jacked for money or jacked for shoes.
You got to know somebody.
You got to know
jacked.
somebody. And Bam didn't know anybody, but Bam's dad would sit there, big ass dude, like
bodyguard.
Yeah.
Basically,
and it's like nobody fucked with Bam. and then Dad's there, but he was good. And my boy Jimmy Chung was good. I still skate with Jimmy to this day.
He's ripping, dude.
Ripping, dude. Yeah. He didn't skate for like 20 years. Damn. I got him out of retirement.
I love that, bro. It's always in you, bro.
Yeah. Dude, you know? And he got good again within like 6 months. I'm like, dude, it looked like you never quit.
So sick.
Same style and everything too.
But yeah, so those dudes were around, like we're going around 94. Okay. Those dudes were around, that was like the scene.
Man, you guys had some golden years there.
Yeah. That, and a lot of, like I said, a lot of that stuff wasn't documented because I had a video camera, but I had the VHS shit.
the big
shoulder thing. And I remember I made like a homie video. This is like, dude, 88, 89. And it was easy to edit because you could hook it up to the VCR.
Yeah.
Dual deck.
Dual deck. Yeah. And it's VHS to VHS. So it was easy to make the videos. I got robbed. God, dude, I was like 17. So this must have been like 91. And my homie lived in like a good neighborhood, like Rittenhouse Square. So my boy John Senese lived at this apartment, or he lived there. I left my battery charger at his crib. So I had to go get the charger so I could charge the batteries. I just got done filming Stevie at Love Park. Ringing the doorbell, get jumped by 3 dudes. Like I got knocked out. Like
from behind.
From behind. I never seen it coming. Like some lady like woke me up. She's like, hey, these 3 guys just like jacked you. It was like an old lady. And like they ran off down the street with your bag. And I was like, no, it's my video camera. And I was like, dude, but the camera was shot. By that time, it was like mostly duct tape. Like duct tape was holding the door on to keep the tape in. I duct taped like a fisheye on. You know what I mean? Like the fisheye didn't even fit the mount. Like, but I'm like, I'm gonna make it because I'm trying to make my shit look like the skate videos. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what I was doing back then, but I knew how I wanted it to look, but I didn't know shit.
So the footage was more important.
The footage was important because the camera was shot. And it was like a camera I got as like a Christmas present like a couple years before. Like I used to film like BMX shit, me trying to like pop a wheelie. Like, you know, I got the camera on a tripod. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I got a bunny hop. I got to like, you know, like, and I got that camera in like, you know, 86 or something. It lasted till about 91.
But is that why you wanted to pick up a camera? Is because nothing was really being documented there? Or is few and far between, I should say, maybe?
Well, I really still didn't pick up a camera yet because I'm trying to get sponsored, dude. I'm trying to go pro.
We still got Tampa Am coming up.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I mean, I was just all about filming the homies and really no one had like a camera.
Gotcha.
I don't even know who the hell filmed Roger Brown's part in that Santa Cruz video. Because I was still kind of like not in the clique with everybody. There was still cliques within Love Park. You know what I mean? And like I'm clicked up with my homie Rat Boy and it's like crazy because we all got nicknames.
Yeah. What was your nickname?
I didn't really have one because Vern is, well, Kevin Taylor calls me Papa Vegan.
Papa Vegan. But that must be more recent.
That's
nickname.
recent.
Right.
But every time I see Kevin, or sometimes he just calls me Papa.
But I mean, back then it was just Vern?
Yeah, because Vern's already kind of a weird name.
Okay.
Like no one
quick and
has that
easy
name.
too.
You know, like Stevie was Lil Stevie.
Yeah.
You know, Rasul was Tooth because he had the rotten tooth.
Rasul, yes.
Sorry, Rasul, but
he's out here now, though.
Yeah, Rasul's out here.
Everybody had nicknames.
Yeah, everyone had a nickname. My boy Rat Boy, Jude Farrell, but he kind of looked like a Splinter from
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Wow.
So we call him Rat Boy. It's kind of fucked up, but my homie Brett lives out here now. He does stuff in Hollywood, and we used to call him Skids because he said something about how he hated getting skid marks in his underwear.
And so the nickname is born. You're going to tell us that right now? You're Skids.
Yeah.
Straight up. Now you got to embrace it.
Yeah.
You got to embrace it.
And you had to embrace it. Like, dude, and sometimes you would play a game of skate to lose your nickname.
You would battle for the nickname.
So like you wouldn't be called a nickname.
Please, God, because you can't just ask to have the nickname taken away.
Yeah.
But everybody has to be there and know that that's the case.
Yeah.
Otherwise, to the other dude that wasn't there that day, you still skid.
Yeah, you still skids.
I've never heard that before. That's amazing.
Dude, we had crazy shit at Love Park. We had our own thing going on. But like I said, it was cliquey because there was like tech dudes and there was like the not tech guys, you know what I mean? And I was always somewhere kind of in the middle. I never fit in anywhere. Never fit in skateboarding, never fit in high school, never fit in life.
Come on, man.
Come on.
I'm just saying, man. It's like
just because pressure flips weren't your bag.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Bring back that early grab shit.
Early
grab and no complies. That was it, and it's all been downhill like ever since, man.
Well, we got
Slowly
slappies
down.
now, so
Yeah,
they are back.
It's coming back.
No
But you know
doubt.
what's fucked up is we don't have good curbs on the East Coast.
Well, dude, I mean, growing up, I was never a slappier because it was an old trick.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
should
yeah.
I learn an old trick?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to learn the new shit.
Yeah, but now we're old, so we might as well do the old shit.
And I always regret that because going on tour, you see Kenny Anderson slapping the curbs in the parking lots and
like,
stuff. And
Kenny can do no wrong though.
it's-
He looks so good.
He does.
He looks amazing. on his
Like
board.
everything, like
the
best.
best back push in the business.
Jesus, man, best back tail. I want my back tail to look like that.
Don't we all?
Back power slide. God. Anyway, that's enough about Kenny. I could go on forever.
So you had mentioned before you hadn't picked up a camera yet. You're still trying to
Yes.
go for the dream of getting sponsored and all
Yeah.
that stuff. What transpired with that?
So my first time California, this girl I know was my skate house broke up. I had to move into another skate house
In Philly.
Because there was this one winter where it snowed on April Fool's Day, like April 1st. We got like 2 feet of snow on April 1st.
Unheard of out there?
Unheard of. So these dudes were like, fuck that, out of here, moving to California.
Okay.
So 3 of the guys I was living with moved to San Diego. One is still currently in California, lives in SF. He's a paramedic for San Francisco Fire Department. But the other guys lasted like a year, and then came back to Philly. But so I was like, well, fuck it. I got a place to stay. And this girl I knew at the time was moving to San Diego. So she's like, I'm driving to move in. So me and 2 other homies like decide to like help with the driving and get the free ride. We'll pitch in for gas. Show up in San Diego. The car breaks down. And not knowing, because I only been in Philadelphia. I mean, I've been to New York. Up at that point in my life, I think New York is the only other city I skated.
Wow.
Because this is January 95. So like we never really left Philly because like everything is there. And it's like, dude, I got the best place on earth to skate.
Press flip circles. Yeah.
So make it to San Diego. And in my mind, I'm like, it's like Philly. I could skate to everywhere. It's like a city. Nope. Wrong. These dudes lived by Jack Murphy Stadium. I think it's called Qualcomm Stadium now, but they lived in this neighborhood.
It's like Mission Valley.
Yeah, so you needed a car. Yeah. We don't got a car. And like we end up skating downtown one night, and we don't even know the buses don't run all night, because in Philly, public transportation's all day. It's like a real city. It's like we are skating after the last bus going back to the neighborhood. And we don't got cell phones back in the day or nothing. You don't know how to get around. We're still new to San Diego. We had to chase this bus for blocks just to catch the bus back home. Wow. But one of the homies, Jeff Lutzo, I'm still tight with to this day, he got a job at Climax Distribution.
Okay.
They were doing invisible skateboards. So he's silk screening boards back in the day when he still silk screen boards. That was his job. End up meeting Jeremy DeGlopper because he skated for Invisible. Jeremy DeGlopper ends up taking us around because we didn't have a car. In my mind, I'm like, dude, I got to go to San Diego. I got to skate Webb Park because I see Willie Santos at Webb Park. I want to skate the benches.
The bench going down the...
So get there, benches are gone. Like, God damn it. Like, I came to San Diego for this one reason because I'm like, damn, I want a nose blunt slide down the bench off the 3. You know what I mean? Like,
envisioning what you're doing.
Yeah, envisioning clips I'm going to get. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get some clips. Nothing.
No bench.
No bench. And then every other spot we went to was so fucking hard. Jump ramp school. Like all these spots, like you watch these videos and you think you can go there and do something, then you're like, fuck, I suck.
I don't think I can do it.
Hard. Yeah,
I think that still exists to this day, though.
Fucking can't remember. Was it jump ramp school?
Was that the one
main
where like the Sheffy skated?
Yeah, I think so.
Over the fence?
No. He does the back 180 late.
Oh.
Is that him?
Yeah, I think so.
I know what you're talking about.
God. All I know is we went to a bunch of spots in San Diego, and it rained, because this was the year of El Nino.
Okay.
And it rained in San Diego almost every day for a week. And I was like, dude, I thought it didn't rain out here. And we were just over, or at least I was over, just sucking. Take the bus up to L.A. Same thing. Don't know you need a car to get around LA. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are all these spots like so far away from each other? Like, this sucks. And don't know anyone in LA.
No one has
got
a car.
no car. Take the bus up to SF. Finally a real city. Don't need a car. And the homie Roger Brown was working at Thrasher Magazine doing ad sales. With Eben Sterling, who's still at Thrasher, who's my ad guy to this day. So Roger lived at 24th and Mission when the Mission was the Mission.
Sketchy.
So Niners are playing the Chargers, Super Bowl. Niners just win. Gunshots all night. Wow. Yo, the Mission was for real the Mission in 95. And I think we went to Slap that year. I got this red Slap windbreaker, getting sweated.
Really?
Hey, Holmes, what's with the red, Holmes?
Oh, wow.
And I'm just like, what do you mean? It's just this windbreaker. We don't got gangs in Philly, so it's just like, I don't fucking know what the hell's going on.
You're like Slap Magazine.
Slap Magazine, you know what I mean? Like, windbreaker, I don't know.
It's funny you say that. I remember having like a extra large sweatshirt on, and we were on like the Muni or like the bus out there, and same thing. Dude comes up to me, he's like, "Man, you ain't extra large," and I was like, "Bro," it's like I just like kind of like I didn't even like want to respond because they were just super extra. Let me just say that.
All I know is it clicked because I watched every gangbanger movie like growing up. You know, and I'm like, I'm like, well, I'm never wearing this fucking red windbreaker getting in the Mission.
Nope.
Getting fucking jacked. But I caught the tail end of EMB.
Okay.
Caught the beginning of Pier 7. And in my mind, I'm like, damn, I'm going to get sponsored by Stereo. Because that was like my favorite company. Well, I mean, girl. Chocolate.
Sure.
But reality was, I'm not as good as these dudes. But Stereo, I'm like, this kind of fits in more. These dudes look good. There's jazz music. The boards look cool. Like, I thought it was the illest shit.
It had a vibe.
It had a vibe.
Definitely.
And then I realized how much I sucked. Because everybody in SF was so good. Like, I was just like, dude, this is like a reality check. Like, these dudes are good. And I'm like, all right, still going to try and make it. 95, up until 99, every winter went to San Francisco because I'm like, this is like the closest thing to Philly where you don't need a car. And I'm going to try and make it somehow.
And it was a poppin' scene out there,
It was poppin'. But yeah, that first winter, I was still in school. And I had to not go back to school. That was the first year of me starting to miss school every other semester. Because it rained for a record 21 days in a row in SF.
Ooh.
Dude, we started bombing hills in the rain. I thought I was on some Sean Young shit. I'm like, yo, man, we just going to bomb hills because there's nothing to do. Like, we got to make the best of this shit. It's raining. Like, I didn't come out to SF to, like, sit here. Like, damn, I guess I can't go back to school now. Like, got to extend a ticket.
Were you filming this whole time and, like, compiling footage for sponsors?
Dude, trying, but it's like, I don't really know anybody. It was easier to get photos than it was to get footage. Because, like, we met Bryce Knights that year. I met, like, so many dudes. And, like, they're down to shoot photos. Brian Gaberman's around. Like,
so sick.
All these dudes are down to shoot photos. But, like, getting footage was hard. I didn't realize it. And, you know, I don't know anybody. I remember the first time I went to FTC to buy grip tape, I was getting vibed. Like, who the fuck is this dude?
You're like, I want to give you money. Why you want me to leave?
It wasn't until Joey was working at FTC.
Joey Pepper?
No, Joey.
Trichet.
No, Hafner.
Oh,
yeah. Joey was the first person that was cool to me at FTC. Yeah. But up until then, I was like, fuck, man. This is like Philly all over again. Because we were the dicks in Philly. Now it's like I'm getting it back to me in SF.
You're on the receiving end.
Yeah, I was on the receiving
Joey
end.
He was always a good, kind
Joey.
individual. That's for sure.
Yeah. But It was like a combination of me realizing my skating was not to that level. The Tampa Am thing was the icing on the cake, skating after Rick McCrane. But
you're just tuning in, rewind.
But in '96, I got hurt in Boston, of all places. We used to go to Boston a lot because there was a good scene. There was a time period when Satvo was living there, and there was like all this footage and Thrasher videos. And I liked what the Boston guys were doing because of Copley. It reminded me of like Love Park. Roger might even had the shot Positive back around that time.
Yeah, good chance of that.
I remember I got the Positive shirt and people thought I was HIV positive because the shirt just said Positive across the front. They're like,
so
what the
crazy,
fuck is that?
bro. Like,
yeah, like
where the mind goes.
Yeah, where the mind goes. I'm like, yeah. But so we're skating this like abandoned bridge. There's like a flat bar on this bridge. We had to hop a fence to skate it. I'm warming up on this thing, dislocate my elbow.
Okay.
They had to throw me over a fucking fence. They're trying to peel the fence down to get me over. And meanwhile, my arm's all hanging out of the elbow. Like,
it was that bad.
It was that bad.
Fuck.
Like, you could still see that it's like, fuck.
Oh, wow.
still
There's
to this
an
day.
indentation there.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that was the first time I dislocated this elbow. This was like 96. And so, they put me in a cab. And whoever's in the cab, I think it's like Panama Dan, because I know I gave Panama Dan's address as my address because I got no health insurance.
Sure, okay.
And since I didn't have health insurance, they had to send me to the ghetto hospital. They tried to bring me to the nice hospital.
No. You got to go over there.
Yeah. So here I am, 8 hours in emergency room with my arm just hanging out.
Pain starts setting in.
Pain. I mean, this is the worst pain in my life. And after that moment, I didn't want to fall that hard again. So something clicked in my head where I didn't try as hard.
Interesting. Okay.
And when I was rehabbing for my elbow, I was living in another skate house. This dude, Brian Smith. There's two Brian Smiths. There's one from Jersey, one from New York. This is the Jersey one. He skated for Physics Wheels. And they were working on a video. And he had a video camera. So I'm like, well, I'm not doing shit because my elbow, like I go to physical therapy and stuff like that, and I can't slam, but I can hold a camera and I could film you. So I filmed, I would say half of his part for the physics video.
Okay.
Ryan G filmed the other half, even though Ryan G was like a photographer, but he had a camera. So I didn't know that was like a job, like that you could get paid because G's like, yeah, you send an invoice to Climax Distribution because they distributed physics. He's like, they're going to pay you. And I got a check. I was like, oh, shit, you get money for doing something I would have done anyway? Like, this is crazy. So from that, it kind of transitioned almost into a job where it's like, I think Dan Wolf was just moving and the VX3 was out, which was like the high 8 version of the VX1000. So Dan Wolf shows me some settings and he's like, yeah, someone's gonna have to take over, I'm out, like he was going to work for Giant or something. He was moving to California. So I just kind of get thrown into this position, even though in my mind I'm like, dude, I still want to skate, I want to be sponsored, I want to be the pro guy, whatever. But then I end up filming a lot of people, and then there was this company called First Division, East Coast Urethane. So this guy, Mike Agnew, who owned Intensity Skates, had a board company. They were doing Capital skateboards, Nicotine wheels, First Division wheels, Illuminati skateboards. They were doing all this, or Silver Star skateboards.
Wasn't that DC stuff?
It was out of close to Washington, D.C., in Maryland. Intensity Skates used to take ads out in Thrasher. You could do mail order. I mail ordered my blind jeans back in the day because he couldn't get the blind jeans. You know what I mean? Like,
those blind jeans are
those
very
blind
sought
jeans.
after. Very sought after.
So I knew this spot in Maryland had the mail order and I could get them like the next day. So I had them. So here it is years later. They hire me to be their filmer because First Division is going to make a video. And a lot of the team lives in Philly. So, they hook me up with a camera. They actually buy the VX3 for me because I don't have any money. I can't fucking buy the camera. And I don't want to use like Brian's crappy high-8. It was good enough for some clips for the physics video, but I'm like, dude, if I got to make a whole video, I need like legit camera. And at the time, the VX3 was like top of the line. So filming. Damn, I can't remember if they went out of business before I got a VX1000, because I got the VX1000 in like 98. But it was all around the same time where this company went out of business, and his homie Julius Reeves, who also used to shoot photos, but he was like kind of the team manager. He shows up at my house in Philly one day. He's like, I got to take the camera back. We're out of business. So that was it. Wow. And I'm like, fuck, that's it? For real?
Didn't even come out with the video or nothing?
Nothing. So I'm sitting on all this footage. I'm like, what the fuck do I do with all this footage? So I just make a mixtape of like maybe 5 minutes of like all my best footage, send it to 411. Colin Kennedy calls me. He's like, holy shit, either you're the hardest working filmer or I'm mad lazy. Like, how do you have all this good footage? And I had to tell him, I was like, dude, I was working on this video project. Company went out of business. I'm sitting on all this shit. I don't know what to do. And so from that, I got a job at 411.
That's it.
Yeah, like I ended up filming. The first thing was like Will Harmon had a Wheels of Fortune. I filmed a couple of clips. He was in Philly, filmed some stuff at Love Park. And I had already known Will from going up to Boston. Then after that, I went to
First Division industry section. Did you film that?
No, that was all Dan Wolf.
Oh, okay.
So Dan was around for all that. He was kind of trying to prep me to take over for this shit because Dan was moving on to bigger and better, you know, Element Video and all that shit. Dan was out. And then, so I get this job at 411. Then I do a trip to Japan. I didn't even have a fucking passport. But I'm like, all right, got to go get a passport. First time I leave the country, go to Tokyo. Film a world report.
There you go. Okay.
Met, dude, who the hell was the dude on Prime?
Shin Okada?
Shin Okada.
Yeah.
Met him, filmed him.
Sick.
That was insane.
That was really long. I mean, that was like, what, 95?
Prime was 95. He was still around because I got there December 98.
Oh, okay.
He was still around.
Okay.
Yeah. So I filmed a bunch of stuff because my homie Jeff Moynihan was going to visit his parents who lived in Tokyo. And we found these tickets for like $350 round trip.
Wow.
Philly to Tokyo. I'm like, I'm in. And 2 weeks. On that trip while I'm there, Salman Agha, Keith Huffnagel, randomly there on some deluxe shit. 2 Live Crew shit. The homie Bad Frankie shot photos. Okay, so there was 2 Frankies. There's Good Frankie and Bad Frankie. Good Frankie is Frank Gallen from Florida, who ended up being like a strength photographer. Bad Frankie. We called him Bad Frankie because you were lucky if you got a photo 50% of the time. And these are back in the days with film, you know? So like you wouldn't know that he missed your photo till he got the shit. So like, it's like, goddamn, Bad Frankie blew the photo. And when Good Frankie came around, and there was 2 Frankies who were like, well, damn, dude, you never miss a photo. So you're Good Frankie. Now this is Bad Frankie. Yeah. It's super funny how that works. But
I remember that. And that was out in Philly?
Yes.
Because that came, that same
cord out of my
that same thing, it transferred over to LA.
It made it
because it was Good Frankie, Bad Frankie in LA.
Yeah, well, Bad Frankie, he never lost it. I hung out with Bad Frankie the other day in Philly. Like, I still see Bad Frankie. He doesn't do anything skate related. He might post some old photos every now and then, but if you need some flooring or your house remodeled, he's your guy.
He's Good Frankie for the flooring.
What about Good Frankie? I haven't seen him in a long time.
Good Frankie lives in New York. I hung out with him maybe last summer. We just went to go get coffee.
I miss that guy.
He was cool, super cool.
Yeah, he was one of the first dudes I hung out with a lot in LA because I already knew him. Like, he used to come up to Philly a lot when he was living in Miami. So him and Meinholtz were living out here. So it's like I had those dudes to skate with. Like, it was like an easy transition my first couple years in LA.
Gotcha.
So damn, I got sidetracked. What were we talking about?
I mean, we were just talking about
like how you were like your career. And then,
yeah.
You kind of really your skate career went straight into your filming career.
You kind of buttoned it up.
Yeah, because so the 411 stuff kind of came around. It started,
and that led us back to like the beginning of this. episode because of you. They wanted you to come out to LA and leave Philly.
So the funny thing is, so sorry again, I got to go back to this Tampa shit. I go there to skate Tampa Am. And the next year I'm filming it for 411. It's like it went from like by Tampa Pro because it's only a couple months later. It's like, damn, dude, I'm really retired. But we're
I haven't even started yet.
I'm really retired.
And I'm young, because now dudes have careers like super late in life. But back then, you were almost done like in the 20s.
I was going to say 18, 19 even. Like, you're getting old.
The thought and like how we were like, bro, I'm done at 20. I'm done at 20.
That's why Jimmy Chung quit when he was on like American Dream and he was on Puma. He was like all this shit. In his mind, he's like, damn, I'm already old.
Right.
Like, I got to quit. I got to go to college. I got to get a job. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he quit when he was still like in his prime and he didn't foresee it going the way it did because most people our age were already looking for other jobs.
100%.
Especially if it wasn't right there in front of you.
Yeah. But I was like, dude, you were still like there. American Dream, Puma. You're on the Puma team with Donger. You know what I mean?
I feel like a lot of people were still there.
Yeah.
And
he just thought it was over. And so we were doing a small company out of Philly called Philadelphia Experiment. And so I was the team manager, but yet I was still on the team because I had a video part. And I'm working for 411. I'm hustling all this shit. And it's just like, dude, in my mind, I already knew these dudes were better than the brand. So I'm like, this is basically a sponsor me tape for everybody in the video. Because Tim Ashiel has the first part.
Oh,
Tim
wow.
Ashiel is so good. Yeah. And so there was like a breakup between the owners. Like this woman, Tara, she was married to Kelly Ryan, who was also OG photographer for Thrasher and Transworld. She started this brand with our homie Brian. They had to split. They, butting heads on the ownership. We kind of all bailed on her and went with Brian, and we started Abstract. It was short-lived because there was just no money. We're trying to do this brand, and when that video came out, it's like Tim got on New Deal. You know what I mean? Like, and I wanted something better for these dudes. Like, I'm the fucking old, washed-up dude. Like, it doesn't matter what happens to me because I already got a job at 411.
Gotcha.
But it's like, you guys need something better. Damian Smith got on Santa Cruz.
Oh, yeah.
So I ended up
You almost
filming.
knew it was like a stepping stone.
Yeah, because I can already foresee shit, other, I could see shit for other people, even if they don't see it. I'm like, dude, you're better than this. You're going to get on something better.
Okay.
Rich Adler ended up getting on like Traffic eventually, like the beginning of Traffic.
Gotcha.
And Brandon John got on LibTech.
Oh, wow, dude.
Yeah. And now Brandon John owns Kinetic and Nocturnal.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it all goes full circle.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, look at my part.
Abstract.
And it's so crazy because when you're the filmer, you want your shit
To
filmed
look
a
dope.
certain way. And it's hard because I've never had, like, the closest I've had to a legit filmer filming me is like, look at that, SF. The homie just had something on Quarter Snacks underneath the rail. They put a rail on the steps.
Yeah.
But
So I take it you didn't like the way that your part was filmed. Is that what we're saying?
Nah, because it's like, yo, hold the camera. I'm gonna do some tricks. And,
Right.
It's like,
Are you telling that in between filming other people?
yeah, well, because all of my footage has always been we're at a spot, I'm filming someone else,
Yeah.
but it's like I also want to get some clips.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I stopped doing back nose grinds because I can't balance it like Brian Wenning.
Yeah, that's what
they would say, God damn, you steamroll that shit across the ledge. Like,
instead of learning how to do it, you just said,
I'm not. Well, there's a lot of tricks that I just don't do because I could not make them look proper. I could do tricks, but it's like, dude, if you can't make it look good, don't do it.
Right.
Yeah, so like, and growing up in Philly, we were harsh on everybody's shit.
No doubt.
Like, it's like, dude, if you didn't do something right, you were fucking getting called out. So it's like, and this is like one of my favorite lines because I can't pop out of a nose grind in the middle of the ledge ever again.
I feel like back then, though, it definitely was harsh, but East Coasters were definitely more critical.
I miss this spot. This spot's gone, dude.
Than West Coast skaters.
Like,
sure.
look at this rocket nollie heel. God damn. But this out ledge was so good because it's like perfect marble ledge, but they took this whole plaza out. And it was like a government, like a federal government thing because it's right across the street from the Liberty Bell. Okay. So it was like a super bus.
I never realized that was the same spot, the manual pad and the out ledge. I've seen the spots in videos, but I didn't know that was
Yeah, because no one would hit the mani pad first. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't have the hardest manual tricks. I got like 3. So
how old were you filming this part?
That was sketchy.
Hell yeah.
That is a NBD at Love Park. And I had to film that a couple times.
Is that a 50-50?
No. Oh. So check this out. That was the warm up because in my mind, I thought I was going to manual across that thing.
Oh my God.
Like I was like, yo, I'm going to fucking set this off. I'm going to ollie it first. And then, because I saw Jerhobel do something similar in SF, where he did a lip slide, like he ollied across and grabbed the lip slide. Okay. I was like, damn, I'm gonna lip slide across this shit like Jerhobel. Nah, I wasn't, because that shit was hard as fuck.
Ollie over and just ride was the warm up before. I love that.
And I thought I was going to do all this other shit because there's grass next to that little ledge, and that ledge is skinny to land on top. Like it is. So I'm just ollieing across, landing in the grass like a bunch of times, and then I just throw that one down. And that other angle, that's Bill Strobeck filming. That was in a static video, that angle. But Kelly Ryan shot a sequence. So he's like, he shot it from across the street, right where we're filming it from. And then he's like, can you do it again? I want a fisheye. So I had to do that shit twice. Wow. Not at the time, not realizing it was scary until I did it once. And Stevie comes up to me afterwards. He's like, damn, man, you on that Jamie Thomas shit. Because Stevie's like, that is fucked.
Yeah, that was...
And I didn't realize it because I just threw it in the middle of the part. I didn't even use that as an ender because in my mind, it wasn't what I wanted to do.
For sure.
So to me, it was now when I look back on it, because now the younger kids are like, because no one ever skated that in Love Park. I'm the only person to ever touch that.
Isn't it the rail that like Chris Cole knows like nollie
that's
heeled?
The big rail that no one... It sucks skating that rail because you would slam into that wall like right after. But Chris Cole set that rail off. And I did listen to his recently. I went back in time to listen to Chris Cole's. And that's where you talk shit on the BMXer. I remember.
There it is.
I remember it because Chris Cole owns part of the BMX company.
Hey, well, we're all good now.
He's always trying to button it up.
I love you guys. I love all the BMXers.
We're going to cruise right over
this. Yeah, Chris Cole set that off.
Kelly doesn't want any more DMs.
The funny thing is I ended it with this rail because I'm like, this is harder. And I'm like, it's not. It's just a board slide. I should have fucking ended it with the ollie at Love Park.
Right. But hey,
and I should have used both angles. I should have used Bill's angle also, like boom, boom.
Yeah.
But it's like,
it's interesting. I mean, like, I think a lot of filmers pick up cameras because of the same situation, right?
Yeah.
And man, it's almost a good thing you did.
Yeah, I
mean, because look where you are now.
Yeah,
I mean, like that's still traveling.
Yeah, if I wouldn't have gone this route, I would have been over, unheard of, not sitting here working some dead end job in Philly. Yeah, Wawa, making your fucking sandwich. You know what I mean? Like,
who knows?
Fuck,
who knows?
But it's crazy.
Or maybe you were destined for greatness.
So yeah, right. But when I made that video, I had like a bunch of them I brought to Tampa Am. And I gave them to all the team managers because I wanted something already for these dudes. I'm like, that was like my goal. It's like, once this video's out, I'm going to get these dudes something better. And then when I got Damien, helped him get on Santa Cruz, I filmed the Santa Cruz part. Right. And I filmed them a part for Thrasher. And Tim Ashiel had a Thrasher part that I filmed. And I filmed this stuff that was in 7 Year Glitch. He had a couple tricks in a New Deal video.
Okay.
Did you film that did he nollie heel tail off the three stair?
Yes, nollie heel tail. He did kickflip front nose. He did nollie heel tail to fakie. Tim was like ahead of the game.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is he grew up skating with Wenning. So when we were doing this Philadelphia Experiment Abstract Company, he brought Wenning for the first time to Love Park. Perfect. And I was like, I want this dude on the team. This dude's insane. And then he was like, Josh Kayla seen him the next day. It's like, Josh, like, nah. This dude, Josh is like, he's coming with me. And like, God damn it. And then Josh got Pappalardo. But it's like, damn, you got the best dudes.
What was that? What was it like for those two guys coming in?
So when they came on the scene, it was like a whole nother level of skating came to Philly.
Yeah.
Like they really brought that shit. And I filmed Wenning switch back 180 into the Love Fountain. I filmed the long lens angle.
Yeah.
Bill's got the fisheye angle. I had
So
the
you're-
long
you-
lens.
you're
I
above?
was standing on the ledge that we all just kind of sit on, and Stevie does switch front nose on.
Yeah.
You know, the ledge that you're supposed to sit on that Stevie skates. Yeah, that's the ledge I'm filming from.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get, because you can't, if you've never been there, you don't know how short the runway is. Like, it's hard to generate that speed and switch to go switch back 180. Like, that's one of the best tricks I've ever seen. I mean, Chris Cole annihilated it also.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to take anything away from that, but something about floating that switch back 180 is beautiful.
At that time, especially, it was.
And Ryan G was on top of the love sign, so he shot the photo from.
That's one of my
there.
favorite covers ever. Right
it's
there,
like the best. It's one of the best, dude. Like, but being around for all that stuff, it was great. And sometimes I would be jealous of Bill because Bill is there every day, and I'd be on some 411 mission, go film the Munster contest in Germany, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, fuck, dude, I got to go on a 5-week tour around Europe to go to contests for the summer, and it's like Bill is getting these clips of all these ill-ass dudes at Love Park.
Right, I could see
like,
that.
I was kind of bummed.
Maybe
but
Bill was jealous of you for not going and not traveling.
Yeah, maybe.
There's an irony to that, because at the end of the day, you are traveling, seeing the world, skating as well. But,
That's true.
you know.
Yeah.
It was.
But I understand it's like your hometown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Major fucking gnarly shit is going down that you're not like a part of.
For sure.
And, you know, like just being there at Love Park from like the late 80s into the early 90s, you've seen all the different transformations. Yeah. And for me, because I was there for like the tail end of it from, you know, the late 90s to early 2000s when Wenning and Pappalardo and Kalis, Stevie, you know, like Kalis and Stevie with that Transworld part, it was just like this really put it on the map, because I'm traveling, I'm not there, and people are like, where are you from? I'm like, oh, I'm from Philly. Oh, Josh and Stevie. Like, that was it. Like, everywhere I went in the world, everybody knew them from that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
They kind of paved the way, you know, for everybody coming up behind. And then, like I said, I dipped out.
You dipped
in
out.
02.
So you did dip out in 02. Because, like, didn't X Games come in at 01?
God, dude, I got a great X Games story, because I'll say it because they're never hiring me.
Well, because they, like, really quick, though, they came in 01, but didn't Philly make skating illegal there after that?
It was already illegal in 96, because I was arrested in 96. Okay. It was on my record up until recently. Because, like, when I got, like, the global entry, they gave me global entry, but I was still going to secondary because I had this arrest on my record. And I was like, this defeats the whole purpose of global entry. And I asked one of the agents, I was like, what's going on? They're like, pulls up my record. He's like, oh, looks like you've been arrested 96 and 2002. I was like, oh, yeah, that's like for skateboarding. Well, it doesn't say what it is. It just says misdemeanor arrest. And it's like, well, did you go to court? Did you do whatever, pay a fine, community service? I'm like, yeah, I did all that. It's like, well, if you get records, we can remove this from your record so you won't get stopped.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So I had to go back, but this was, dude, already a million years after the fact. It was so hard, but I got it. But so in 96, they made like an example of me and like this group of dudes that got arrested because the law was new, $300 fine. They caught us like a block away at Wawa down the street. I'm just like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, I wasn't even, I mean, I was at Love Park, but like, you didn't catch me. You caught me coming out of the store. And
difference.
Yeah, so we go to jail. The cops
Go
are
to jail.
Dude, I was in jail for a day.
Damn.
I was in there long enough where they serve you a dry ass cheese sandwich and a Wawa iced tea.
Oh my god.
And you're sitting in there, and there's motherfuckers in there for real shit, like assault and battery. Like, other people are talking about the shit they're in there for. I'm like, I'm in here for skateboarding. The fuck is this?
Crazy.
Yeah. So the cops be like, oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. You just go to court and tell your story. Everything's going to be fine. Didn't know we needed to lawyer up because public defender comes in. We're sitting there with a judge. The cops get on there. They're telling this, that, and the other thing. It's like, yo, that's not even how it happened. And, they're going to take the cop's word over my word. So that was it. Lost the skate. Then if I wanted my skateboard back, I had to go back to court again, and the judge would decide if I wanted the board. I'm like, you know what? Whatever.
I'll get another one.
Get another one. Yeah. Let some cop's kid have the board. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure that happens to all the shit that no one retrieves. The cops just take it.
Yeah. After a certain time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, how was it though? Because Chris is mentioning the X Games thing. Like they brought all these people there for the X Games, and then they just said fuck it after.
So the mayor
it's like a double standard.
Yeah. So the mayor at the time was like, no. We're going to make it good, and you guys can skate. Like, we were at these city council meetings about it and stuff like that. Like, I have, the old tapes. And I gave all these tapes to Chris Mulhern because he's working on this documentary about Love Park called 15th and JFK.
Rad.
Don't know when it's coming out, but it's been years. He just got all Dan Wolf's old tapes. So he's, hyped.
Yeah.
But so we're there, and, the mayor and the city council, they're telling us this, that, and the other thing, it's going to be good. You guys can skate Love Park again, and you could skate City Hall and all this shit. Because in 2001, they had a course at City Hall. I don't know if you guys remember that, but there was a street course set up at City Hall for the X Games.
Yep.
And I was trying to get hired to be the filmer. I'm hitting these dudes up at ESPN. I'm like, yo, I'm the filmer here. Let me film the content. No, we have our camera crew. They have their sportscasters, whatever. They missed one of the best tricks. There's a bump to bump with a wall. Josh Kalis nollie flipped over this shit.
Wow.
It's the only person to film it because I'm a fucking skater and I know what I'm looking for. These dudes are trying to buy the clip from me. I'm like, yeah, $500. You guys didn't want to fucking hire me. $500 for this one clip.
Wow.
So
did they pay?
Yeah, they paid.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
But probably never get to work for ESPN. Who cares?
I mean, there's probably new people involved now. It doesn't, years ago.
They saw me get the clip, and these dudes ran over to me. I'm like, yeah, you can email me after the contest. You can get the clip.
Yeah.
But I made the whole little edit thingy for 411.
Okay.
And Kalis's clip was in there. But yeah. And then the next year they brought it again. But I was out of town, so I wasn't there for 02 because the 01, the street was at City Hall, then the vert was at I don't know what it was called then, Core State Center. They keep changing the arena where the Sixers play. But so the vert was there, and then 02, you know what? Did a 5-week trip in Europe with Lynx Footwear.
Oh, wow.
Footwear.
So they have a good team back then.
Yes,
dude.
that was the first time I met Lucas.
Oh,
Lucas, God damn, that dude was good. Yeah. Still one of my favorites.
Totally.
So, but I remember that one, the Philadelphia Inquirer, the local newspaper, Kerry Getz is doing a 180 over the mayor. And I'm like, these dudes the politicians were around long enough to get on our good side. And then the second the circus left town, back to strict, and we're taking Love Park away. God. Well, they didn't actually take it away, but they put grass in it and all that shit. And
what a messed up situation,
yeah, it
bro.
sucked.
Kidding me? Such a double standard.
Yeah, but that's
it's a money grab.
Yeah, it was a money grab. They saw that ESPN was coming and wanted to do it for a 2-year deal, and back to business as usual. And like I said, I was gone after that because fence went up, grass went in weird places.
Right.
But it was still skatable. It was just harder. And I didn't know that. I thought it was just going to be gone. It's gone now. For real, it's gone.
Yeah.
But back then, it was fake gone. But that 5 weeks, though, it was kind of worth it. It was fucking weird being with those dudes because, I fly into France. I don't know anybody. I kind of knew Al Boglio because he stayed at my house in Philly. So, but Al was it. I'm in a van. And how they run it, they would drive to a new country and a new dude would get in the van. Because, it was cliche/Lynx, but, they had all these dudes in Europe. And I'm like, dude, we're just going to drive around Europe? We can do that? Because I don't know. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute, we're going to France, then Switzerland, then Spain?
I've taken the trains, in the past for all the contests, but I've never done the drive. So I'm just like, oh man, this seems like it's going to be a mission. So
was Marcus McBride on that trip?
Marcus McBride was the only person that really spoke English on that trip. So me and Marcus just kind of held it down in the last row of the van. I'm like, damn, man, I don't know that everyone speaks French on this trip. You know what I mean? And then Jan Cleaver gets into the van. So now you got the German dude thrown into the mix.
Kale, was Kale there?
Kale was there. He spoke English, but he's got, Australian accent. So me and Marcus are just the two brothers hanging out in the back. You know what I mean? Like, but that was the first time I met Kale. And I'm like, damn, this dude's a fucking beast.
Super nerd.
I thought Lucas was Guy because I was like, damn, this dude's like watching Guy or something in real life. Like, JJ Rousseau was on that trip. He was so good. JB. God, dude. I think Lou Passin was on that one.
Yeah.
So it was sick, dude. It was like such the sickest trip, and we drove all over.
Cliche knows how to do a trip.
Yes.
I've been on a Cliche trip before as a guest, and I was like, oh my God.
And Brett Margaritas was on the trip because he was a team manager.
Brett Margaritas.
And I knew Brett also because there was like so when I had this one skate house in Philly, like somehow every skater stayed at our house. And we had this little Australian connection. It started with Andrew Curry. And so all the Australians would end up staying at the crib.
Okay.
And it's so crazy how everything comes back full circle. You know what I mean? Like I never made it as the pro until, I got this kind of fake pro board.
What do you mean? Fake? You got two of them.
I know.
You got two of them.
So let's not go that far ahead yet, but let's go back to, when I sponsored Kelly. How about that?
When did you sponsor Kelly?
Elwood Clothing, man.
Oh,
Dude.
Dude, I was so... Hey, you're the first person to ever pay me.
Damn straight, man. A lot of people still tell me that to this day. Like when they get that Bones check, be like, yo, you're the first person to ever pay me. Yo, Jameer told me that shit recently.
Oh, wow.
Because Jameer Brown, Philly, next generation.
Yeah.
He said when he got that first check, he showed his mom. He's like, see, Mom, I can make it.
Wow.
And I cut him that check.
I love that.
Yeah, dude.
And
I remember
a lot of people told me that.
One crazy set, because, back then when I was starting to meet people and you brought me around and you're like, hey, we're going to go do this thing in LA. Come with me. So I get in the car. We go to the airport. Anthony Pappalardo gets in the car. I'm like, what the?
Because he was on Elwood.
Yeah. And
I was
like,
trying to get a proper team, man.
I was like, what? This is, like, at that time, he was like one of my favorites. Then
Me
we
too.
go meet up with Brian Lotti doing that video.
Yep. Worked on that one with Lottie.
First and Hope.
First and Hope.
First and Hope. Then Rick Howard. We do that whole thing at the what's it called, the DWP.
Yeah, and I had to go get a permit so we could skate it. Yeah,
and I'm like, Rick Howard's there, Scott Johnston.
Yeah.
Wait, Rick Howard was on Elwood?
No,
he just did a shoot with Brian Lotti.
Yeah,
Brian Lotti's film first.
Yeah,
okay.
He wanted all of his favorite skaters in this film.
Amazing,
right?
And he wanted it to look like one continuous line.
Yeah,
starting from First and Hope and going all over downtown.
Okay, I remember this.
Dude, I was on the back of a bike because he wanted all the shots to be in the front, so you could see everybody coming towards you. It was so sketchy being backwards on a bike.
Oh,
the camera,
like a motorbike.
Yeah, no,
a bicycle.
It might have been motorized because we had to go fast enough to be in front of the skaters.
Say, yeah.
Yeah. All I know is it was sketchy. Right. Brian's great, man. He's eccentric.
Yes.
But he had this vision, and he was friends with the dude Palmer and Sal and Luciano, so we brought him in to do this thing at Elwood.
Yeah.
It was good, man, because like I said, that was around the time this dude, I can't remember his name, brought down 411, and 411 actually ended up being sold to Wasserman.
Yeah.
But I got out of there right before that, because once that sale went down, a lot of people lost their jobs. And I was fortunate to jump ship, or Sal was fortunate, wanted me, because I was like, damn, dude, my favorite skater, asking me to come work for Elwood and Aesthetics, like two of the illest brands with the illest dudes.
For sure.
And I'm like, yes, sign me up.
Right.
That was like right after the Aesthetics video came out, right?
That was right after, and they let Barrett go because they hated Barrett.
Oh, Barrett Loose.
Yeah, they hated Barrett. I never really knew Barrett that well, but
I think they liked him, but like they would roast him a bunch.
Yes,
they would roast him a bunch. And
maybe
Garrett
he
was
couldn't
like
take it.
Yeah, Garrett was our like or Barrett was our friend, but I could just tell, like, damn, these guys. Rob Welsh gave me hell when I was on the expedition. I just I couldn't even imagine what Barrett would go through.
No, I kind of saw some of it or heard some of it. I don't know, but Rob and Clyde together is not a good combination for somebody if they got you in their sights and the crosshairs. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they just know how to talk shit and get under your skin. And if you're not built for it, I was never built for it as a kid. Like, I was like, why you hate me?
Coming from Philly, you got thick skin, so you're already built for it. Sure. You know, and I already knew Clyde from his Acme days, coming to Philly, staying with Matt Reason. So again, it all comes full circle. But yeah, they were psyched to have me because I fit in pretty well with the crew already. I already knew Gorecki when he was like a little kid, and he was already one of the Ams.
Yeah.
So the only one I didn't know was Lamar Hemmings.
Oh yeah, Lamar Hemmings.
He got put on later, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's rad.
Clyde or Sal would always tell me, he's like, Vern, you got to go pick up Lamar after school. Go pick up this little dude. Yeah. He's the future. You know, like, also.
It's a good Sal impression, by the way.
This guy was good.
Yeah, Sal's voice. Vern. So I got a lot of these calls from Sal because, as a team manager, when you get hired somewhere, the first thing you got to do, get rid of the dead weight.
Oh, you got to be the bad guy.
You got to be the bad guy. Even though you're not making the decision comes from above, but the skater's going to hate you because you're the one that's got to cut these dudes.
Delivering the message.
So Sal gives me this list. Vern, you got to cut all these dudes off. And there's a list of aesthetics dudes to cut and a list of Elwood dudes. And I don't know anybody because I'm still kind of fresh. I've only lived in LA for about a year at this point. So...
Doing 411 stuff.
Yeah, I was doing 411 stuff, and I told those dudes, I was like, hey man, whatever happens, this is still like, you guys gave me my first real opportunity, so I'm always going to be down to do whatever. You need me to go shoot a contest or you need some content, just hit me up. I'm still here. That's why I love Ortiz, man, because he's still the man.
He's the best.
Still hooking it up to this day.
He's rad.
Nice.
But so Sal gives me this list. And some of the dudes on the list, I know, I got to cut my friends. And I didn't do it right away. So Sal's like, Vern, why you still send this guy my product? Like he's mad. Because it's like money's coming out of the company. And it's like, and Sal put it to me.
Riders on the team or flow riders and
Kind of like both. Like, so from Elwood, I had to cut like Brian Horde. Justin Case.
Both of those dudes gnarly.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, we got to cut these dudes? Like, these dudes are good. God, I can't remember other names. But those were like the big names where I was like, fuck, I got to cut these guys. These dudes are good. Okay. But I had to cut those dudes from Elwood. There's probably a couple other guys. But
that's crazy. Justin was like coming up right there.
Had to cut him.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Then for aesthetics, I had to cut German.
Neves.
Had to cut my boy. And I didn't cut German right away, and that's when Sal got mad. So when I cut him, Kevin Taylor's the first dude. Yo, why'd you kick Germ off? I'm like, yo, Kevin, it's not me. It's coming from Sal, dude. I just got to relay the message. But it's like sucks because I literally just skated with German on Sunday.
He's rad.
And he's killing it with Patterson.
Yeah,
like he's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
And he still rips because he's like 45. And I'm like, dude, you still got switch crooks like this on lock? I hate you. But yeah, I had to cut him. I had to never really put Rodrigo Peterson on. I was trying to sneak Scott Christensen on. Like there was a couple dudes I was trying to sneak on because I thought these dudes were ill. And Sal's like, Vern, this is how it works. If I'm never putting them on, don't ever send them anything. And it's like, I didn't get it then, totally get it now.
Yeah.
Because it's like, there's no point of stringing someone along if they're never getting on the team.
Yeah,
totally.
It's good to it's hard to let them know that. But
yeah.
You're like, hey,
and no one wants to hear that. And I didn't understand it because, again, I'm probably like 28 I was gonna say 30 or something. I'm still pretty young, so I'm like, I don't
dealing with like business shit.
Because in my mind I'm still like skate rat. Right. And it's like I don't look at numbers, I just look at like
performance, skateability, just skating, just skating.
And that's why I put Kelly on, because I thought Kelly was a rad dude. Right?
There you go.
I like to see this, because at Elwood it was like, I think that might have been around the time all those dudes left for Zoo.
Yeah, and then
so
you put on Devin Calloway too.
Put on Devin Calloway,
I was like, damn.
Jack Saback.
Yeah.
So it's like, because all right, so Elwood, Sal left and they went to Zoo, and I didn't get the memo, and I didn't get the invite, because even Shimmery stayed.
You didn't even get the memo.
No, I didn't even know it was happening. It's
Sal's out the building, and that you come in
and I'm like, and then Luciano and Palmer were owning it at that point. They're like, Sal's out, and he took the team, and then Palmer's like, need you to rebuild aesthetics, because he's still sitting on a shitload of product. And I'm like, all right, fuck. I'm like, Elwood would be an easier build because it's clothing. So it's me and Kenny Anderson, and we're just like, who do we want on? And we wanted like a lot of dudes on, but at the time there was no budget. But I could afford to pay Kelly and Saback and Devin Calloway. So it's like I could get these dudes. But at the time we also wanted Jerhobel. He eventually got on after I left, but we had our eyes on other people. Like, because Kenny's like, I want this dude. I'm like, yeah, me too. This dude's sick. You know, but
you had a certain budget to work with.
Had a budget to work with. I knew what I could afford, and I was looking for young, up-and-coming dudes, which Kelly I thought was one, because I think you had something in like a KO video.
Yeah, I had stuff in the KO video, or maybe it was a 4-in-1 part that I had a 4-in-1 section.
You had some footage that I was psyched on.
Oh, thanks.
So I was like, I want to sponsor this dude, because he was young. You were like 16, maybe 17, 18. So that's what I was looking for. That next come up.
Sure.
I'm always looking for that.
Yeah.
And that was actually a tough one for me, because I really loved Elwood, but then LRG came up.
Yeah.
And
I was already gone though.
Yeah.
That time, so it didn't matter for me.
But it was tough for me. I'm like, how do I go about telling this company that I to go? Yeah. How do I do that?
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It is hard.
Hard to quit. Hard to kick people off.
All of that.
But yeah, so I'm trying to rebuild aesthetics. So I'm like, who doesn't have board sponsors? Who can I get? Danny Montoya is the first dude that pops in my head, because you guys are toying with him at Chocolate, never really put him on. He had that ill ass.
I know. He's talking like I'm
you guys.
No, it wasn't me.
But and he had that ill audio part, One Step Beyond.
I've been
all
a
that
fan
stuff.
of Danny Montoya since day fucking one.
And something was popping, like Pop War popped. That didn't happen. And I'm like, well, Rob G, Danny Montoya, brought them in, had a meeting. And the first thing they said in the meeting was like, it's hard to be a part of a brand if the dudes who started the brand aren't here. Like, they're like Rob and Clyde. These dudes are aesthetics. Like Joey Pepper, John Ige. These dudes are aesthetics. They built the brand.
Right.
Like, we should just start something new.
I can see that.
Problem is, you couldn't start something new when you're still sitting on all this product that needs to be moved.
Sure.
So Palmer didn't want to start something new. Danny and Rob wanted to. So Danny, Rob, Shimmery started something new.
Listen.
And they brought me along.
Gotcha.
And I had to go quit, and I told Luciano. Do you guys know Luciano?
I've met him before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Luciano's super cool, and he knew it was sinking ship, and he said to me, he's like, man, I wish I had somewhere better to go.
Oh, damn.
And then when I told Palmer I'm about to quit, Palmer's just like, oh, man, I'm going to give you a raise, and I'll give you that budget for your extra team. Now he's trying to give me all the shit that I was asking for on my way out the door. I was like, no, man, I already wanted to do that. This is a new opportunity. I'm just going to fly with it and see what happens.
Right.
And he's like, well, I hope that shit goes out of business.
Damn.
And he told me that on my way out the door. I'm like, all right, sick.
Damn.
Thanks, dude.
He was in a different space. Right there.
Yeah, I mean, because everyone's leaving him. Like, he probably just feels. And I know Palmer too. Palmer's a cool dude.
And that's Kenny's boy. I know they grew up in Vegas together. And Palmer and Sal didn't see eye to eye on a lot of shit. That's why he dipped, did his own thing, went to Zoo and all that stuff, and took the team.
Right.
I mean, it was great. I fucking love, to this day, I still own Elwood clothing because the quality was so ahead of the time
really good clothing.
that the jeans are still, I could still wear them. Wow. I still got shorts and shit. That's like, dude. And the thing was, at that time, no one was spending that much money on clothes.
Cut and sew and
that
stuff like
shit
that.
was expensive. So, Yeah, it just sucks. But then Listen started. So it was like a new place.
And they've had a good run of like, because they did Listen and they did.
I was out after Listen.
Well, I know, but they just
Boulevard.
Yeah.
So 2008 happened. Economy sucked, and Listen was done.
Yeah,
and I was unemployed for a year and a half.
Damn,
struggling.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, when did you get the Bones job?
Well, I was at Satori briefly before Bones, so there was a 6-month period of Satori.
Slanging Wheels.
To
riders.
Yeah.
2010?
So 2008, October 2008, that was my last paycheck from Listen. I started Bones April 29th, 2010.
Okay.
And I know that because I get an anniversary email every year.
That's awesome.
Today was the day that you started with us. We really appreciate your
they're great.
Devotion and dedication
Trust
to the
me.
company.
That means a lot, though.
No one
means
leaves there.
Sure.
If you notice, no one leaves there because they take care of the employees
That's rad.
very well.
That's
Love
dope.
that. Love that.
So I worked weird, odd jobs. So that's when the announcing stuff actually started happening for me. We were doing a Listen demo at MIA Skate Park. And the day before, I think there was like a Circa demo, or there was some kind of demo. And Ed Salego and Chris Williams are like, hey, man, you want to jump on the mic? And like, I'm like, I never did this shit before. Just say the tricks and blah, blah, blah. So I did it. And they're like, hey, we're doing this contest, battle the shops or some shit. It's like all the shops in Florida go to one skate park. So it's like 20 shops. I'm there just announcing the contest. Ryan Clemens is there. He's like, damn, man, you killed it on the mic. I'm going to suggest you to Tampa Am. I'm going to tell Schaefer we should hire you. So it kind of worked out because Listen ended. I had no job.
Right.
So then this is when you could still roast people.
Yeah.
So I will tell you this much. A lot of people got roasted with me on the mic because I was following the tradition.
You were fighting Clyde Singleton.
Well, before that, I don't know if you remember, but Greg Carroll used to do it. And Sal Barbier.
Yes.
Sal Barbier was harsh.
Gnarly.
Greg Carroll was harsh if you got kicked off Venture or you quit Venture or Think.
You're going harder.
Yo, Greg Carroll went harder on you. And Greg's like a nicest dude now.
Right.
But back then, and Greg was nice to me actually in SF. That was like one of the nicest dudes to me, actually.
Oh, bro, when they first started Venture, he was the nicest to everybody, making sure that, hey, you want to get some Venture? Yeah, we'll get you some Venture.
I was like a nobody dude in SF in those days, but Tony Vitello, Greg Carroll, come by, grab some stuff.
Rad.
I'm like, what? Sick.
Yeah, definitely.
But back then you didn't want to be on the other end of that mic. And then from that it went to Clyde. And I don't know if Tim O'Connor was before me or after me. I can't remember.
What year did you start?
I did Tampa Am from 2008 to whenever the border started, 2012, 2014.
I think Tim was before you, I think.
Yeah.
Because I remember Tim announcing me, whatever, when I was...
Yeah, I was just filming at 411, so I wasn't paying attention to what was going on and who was saying what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I'm just watching tricks, you know? Yeah. But so I got hired, roasted a ton of people. Didn't roast Ashad. Ashad's mom comes up to me after the contest, like, thank you for being nice to my son, because you weren't so nice to some of those boys. And I was like, ma'am, your son is really good, and it's impossible to roast him.
Wow. This is at a Tampa Am.
This is at a Tampa Am, where I think that same year I made Justin Figueroa cry.
Oh, my
And
God.
I only learned about that when they did one of these anniversary videos, and he talked about how I talked shit on the song that he skated to, because he came up to DJ Wade and was like, yo, I want to hear this song from my run. And I'm sitting there, you know, because I get to see everything that happens when they come up. Song comes on, worst shit ever heard in my life. And I talked about it for 1 minute straight. Didn't even announce one trick he did. He could have had a flawless run for all I know, but I went in on how bad the song was.
Oh my God.
And he mentioned it in this video that Josh Stewart did, like an anniversary video of Tampa.
Wow.
And I'm like, damn, dude, I feel bad because Justin Figueroa is an amazing skateboarder.
Fuck yeah.
And love you, Justin. You're a good ass dude. sorry I ripped your song.
He just didn't like the song.
I just didn't like the song. You know what I mean? And there was so many things like Tyson Bowerbank. I called him deck check because he deck checked and I'm announcing in front of the pyramid so I could see when everyone deck checks. And Tyson told me that years later because I started sponsoring him for Bones. And Tyson's like, yo, man, when I was like a kid at Tampa Am, you just roasted my whole run. Like you called me deck check, like hard flip to deck check. Like I'm just calling it out as I see it. And he's like, it's all good because it made me not want to deck check anymore.
Oh, there you go.
And all it is tough love. Like it's like I'm not roasting because the song sucked, but
that's not roasting him though. Maybe your song choice, but
no, I'm not taking away from anyone's like skills. But if you're gonna deck check, I'm gonna call it. If I see the Am shuffle, you know what I mean? Like
sure.
I think that year there was one year I had a front feeble meter because that was like. That was the trick. And everyone had a front feeble. And Kenny Hughes is dying because he's judging. And I was like, yep, there's another one on the front feeble meter. And like I was keeping a tally. And before someone would go, I would be like, hey, man, there's been 20 front feebles on this rail right in front of me. Don't do that in your run if you want to get a higher score from the judges. Sure, I'm trying to help people out. Kid drops in, front feeble. Yeah. It's like, damn, you just didn't listen to me. Like, you're not making a cut.
Sure enough, he didn't make the cut.
Well, every year there's like those Am tricks, right?
There's those tricks that becomes the trick.
Yeah.
And but those were fun. Oh man, that dude, I was doing Damn Am in Amsterdam. God, what's his name? Something. The French dude with the glasses that looked like Harry Potter.
Did Backtail del Toro?
Yes.
I can't remember his name. Not Aurelian, but something
like
close.
that.
Something close to that.
I met him once before. Yeah, he was cool. But like,
So I was roasting him so hard during his run at Amsterdam. Man, this is like 2010 or something. He just flips me off. And I'm like, yep, probably deserved that, but I roasted you so hard because I kept calling him Harry Potter. I was saying all kinds of shit in his run, and but he did backtail the shit out of El Toro. So middle finger to me. Like take that. You know what I mean? Like, but you could say things because there was like pre-Instagram, pre-internet stuff. You can
either build them up or tear them down, bro. Like that's what it built.
But it was all tough love because all these dudes obviously rip, but they just didn't rip yet. They were just not there, and if they just changed a couple things, they were there. Yeah. I just like to call it tough love.
Skateboarding's weird, man.
We had tough love in Philly. I was just
sometimes somebody needs to know what they're doing wrong.
Yeah, and sometimes people don't want to hear it, especially in the middle of their run.
Stop deck checking.
Don't do that Benihana again. I don't need to see a Benihana.
I'm gonna do a Benihana.
Drum will do that.
But I fuck with it. I've had fun with it, bro. I'm not doing that shit serious.
And there was all these like when I was doing Tampa Pro, there'd be all these fake Florida pros, like these fake Florida companies, and I would talk mad shit, and I thought these dudes were going to beat my ass because I'm talking so much shit during their runs. But Clemens and Schaefer didn't care because it's like, these dudes they shouldn't be in the contest anyway because you're in a contest with like real top pros and you're pro for some company I never heard of from Florida. Right. And I would just go in on that shit because during the pro contest, there's nothing to make fun of. You know what I mean? Except for these random dudes from Florida that were pro,
right?
And it's like flatline skateboards and all this bullshit that I've never heard of, and I'm like, God damn, these dudes suck.
But sometimes they'd be like, since I've been going there, like you see the same people come through, and you're like, hey, respect, man. You keep coming back.
You guys let Ronnie Gordon enter the contest when Ronnie Gordon should have never been in the contest.
I mean, I don't know,
that definitely rolled through.
But they would go through, and it's like their one time to like, hey, like I get to see. That's like I do. That skateboarding needs that where there's like dudes that just say shit and because they feel that way. So like skateboarding, it doesn't see that much anymore. There's not a lot.
Because everyone's sensitive now, and you might get canceled for saying something. So you can't say it and. I mean, that's
you
part
just
of
be careful. You can say shit.
I mean, I'm still on the mic for some events, but not as much. And I've
toned it down a little bit.
I found a different way to be funny. Okay, that's all it is. And now it's a lot
to reinvent yourself.
A lot of like parental humor. Stuff like that.
Right,
like,
right.
because I kind of want to make it fun now for the parents, because now the skaters are super young and there's a lot of parents coming to contests.
Sure.
I'll like MC these Hot Wheels contests where it's like 16 and under. And it's like, I'm not going to rip some little kid for trying out there. But if their parents are doing something corny, I'll make fun of the dad or something. You know what I mean? And then the dad will look and it's like, oh, this dude's talking about me. And then they'll start laughing.
Yeah.
So it's different. And then the kid starts laughing because you're making fun of my dad. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like a fun humor where it's like Ice Cube, like family humor. You know what I mean? Like you reinvent yourself.
Make the best of it.
Yeah. You know, like I've judged the contests and they've kind of moved me away from that because you know how the judging works where they drop the high score and drop the low score and average the others? I'm consistently a low score. Because I just don't want to. It's like I'm not impressed.
You're very
I'm very judgmental.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the one thing I love about judging is seeing like when you get to work with new judges and how like this diabolical hater or some shit is
I'm tight with it, man. Mike Sinclair's tight with it too, man. We know we're tight with it. It just is what it is. You know, we've been around for so long, and so
I think it needs that. Though.
You need to really impress the shit out. But then I'm the first one to criticize if these dudes aren't giving a 9. I'm like, yo, that was a 9. Like, what the fuck they watching? Like, I'm yelling from my seat.
But you wouldn't have given them.
But then I'm like, damn, I'm being hypocritical. Because if that's me judging, like, I would have probably gave the same damn score. But it's just is what it is.
At the Vegas contest, you were sitting, and I could see you. And I'm sitting next to Jimmy, and then he's like, "Look at fucking Vern." You're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, because I'd be getting mad about some of the scores, but then I'm like, they're right. At the end of the day, I'm like, they're right. And you're just in that. You're like a sports fan, like yelling. You know what I mean? But then when you like watch the replay, you're like, that foot dragged a little bit. It wasn't that clean. And it's like you get it, but at the moment when you see it first go down, you're like, what? You know, it's like, why are they calling a foul on my dude? Like, there was no foul. You know, it's like same shit. And then they've transitioned me to DJ, which I'm better at now.
Okay.
Ooh, DJ.
Because you can feel the crowd and you play like for your crowd. You know, you have to read the room right.
Yeah.
And just DJ'd the Miami Open contest. And skaters were coming up to me. He was like, yo, you brought some good vibes. Because now these kids love 90s like dance music. And so we were in Miami. I'm like, this is the home of this shit. Stevie B all day.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like,
bro.
So it's just like you gotta just know where you're at. Vert contests, there's a lot of metal and some punk. You know, street contests, a lot of shitty trap music. But
well, I'm glad you're finding your lane. You know, Got the parent humor over here. We got
gotta be versatile.
Versatile. But so after listening to it, I was unemployed. Worked a bunch of weird jobs. Like the contest stuff really saved me. Schaefer and Clemens, they saved me. They hired me for every single event. So I'm very thankful to those guys. That's why I still tell people to go to Tampa, even though Schaefer fired me when Clemens started the border. He didn't want any association with Ryan. But Tampa's still the best contest. And I still go and I still tell people to go, even though I got fired, but it's still the best, dude. I still love Schaefer.
Yeah, it really is.
You know what I mean? Like it's a good time. Everyone should experience it at least once.
For sure, 100%.
And
for sure.
I was supposed to work damn, dude, crazy story about Zeke and Luther. You guys remember that show on Disney XD?
I just remember Jimmy was
the dude.
Yeah, I just never I never saw it though.
Oh, Jimmy Grecki was like the stunt coordinator.
So Jimmy thought the skating should look like real skating, like a skate filmer should, shoot it. So Fred Savage was like a producer at the time. And I grew up watching the Wonder Years. That's like my favorite shit. So I'm like, man, I'm getting an interview with Kevin Arnold. Like, that's all I'm thinking the whole time. And, they give me a copy of the script of the pilot, which I still own in my possession to this day.
Okay.
So I had to make like a little reel of like my skate shit. So it was so long. It was too long. It was like 10 minutes. I should have fucking shortened it. And like, this dude doesn't want to watch 10 minutes of skating. So I guess Jimmy was watching Fully Flared, And Fred Savage walks by the office like, yo, who shot this? This is the guy we need. And it's like, oh, we're never getting Ty Evans. There's no way. This dude's too busy. So I think they briefly hired Ty, or Ty couldn't do it, or something happened where he shoved it along to Aaron Meza.
Okay.
And I don't really know what happened, who eventually got hired, but my role was like a promotional tour where me and Ron Resurrection drove around the United States teaching kids how to skate on these little ramps, 12 and under kids, in these mall parking lots for 5 weeks. But it paid really well.
This was off of the show.
This is all to
like
promotion for the show.
Wow.
We had Zeke and Luther swag. We had to talk about the show. And we had signage on all the ramps.
Wow.
Dude, the ramp was like a quarter pipe, a flat bank, a flat bar, mani pad.
Are you essentially
in
doing
the
demos?
Me and Ron are doing demos / lessons for kids that are 12 and under.
You're doing Zeke lessons, Zeke demos.
This
Zach
is
and Zeke.
Zeke and Luther?
Zeke and Luther.
Zeke and Luther.
I swear to God.
Zach
Dude,
and Zeke sounds better, by the way.
It was in coordination with the Journeys backyard barbecue. So the store Journeys would do these like kind of like a mini Warp Tour where there'd be bands playing and like,
It's like a couch tour type
Yeah,
thing.
it's kind of
Sure,
like
Zoomy
it was
shit.
in between a couch. It was above a couch tour because there's live music, but not kind of like
Warp Tour.
Warp Tour.
Okay. Yeah.
But I remember the last one of the whole tour was where the corporate headquarters is in like Franklin, Tennessee. They brought out the vert ramp. And the whole Vans team is there, but the old heads like Cab and Bucky and Omar and all this shit. I was like, oh shit, they got a vert demo, and here's me and Ron. But the cool thing is, every city we were in, we had a little budget to hire someone to help us. So when we did it in Dallas, we hired Jeremy Holmes. If you guys remember Jeremy Holmes.
Of course.
So we hired Jeremy. In Boston, we hired Kevin Coakley and Lee Berman.
Rad.
Damn, there were some other cities, but I always made sure my homies were hooked up too. It's like, if I'm getting paid, someone else is getting paid.
For sure.
It's like, you want a job for the day? We got to teach these little kids.
You're
how
going to hire somebody.
Yeah, you're going to hire somebody.
That
Better be
was
somebody
rad.
I know.
That's what Jimmy did for the most part. He got all of his homies in there
Yeah,
to get
Jimmy
paid.
did the same thing. Got
Yeah.
Tony Montgomery and Billy Roper.
Yep.
Kerry Getz came in to do some big ass ollie. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Jimmy was looking out, and I was kind of doing the same thing.
That.
Yeah.
So,
Love that.
Wow,
yeah,
dude,
that
that's
was
cool,
funny because Ron Resurrection purposely didn't bring his driver's license. So I had to drive this truck, like a 26-foot long truck, because we had all the ramps in the back of the truck. I had to drive this fucking truck because Ron purposely didn't.
You think it's purposely?
Yeah. He's like, oh, I forgot my license. I can't drive.
That was the first thing.
Yeah. And I'm like, motherfucker, I got to drive this fucking truck.
That's a long journey
Yeah.
right there.
And it was cross country. Like we did like a circle. It's like, we end up as far as Boston and
You
back
could
in
still
California.
drive. They'd look up your
Yeah,
license.
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
It's not
Ron
that-
was
yeah.
claiming he can't drive without a driver's license. So thanks,
I forgot
Ron,
it.
for making me drive.
Damn.
But yeah, so that tour thing was ending, and then Craig Najedli hit me up. He's like, hey, you still looking for a job? You want to be the team manager for Satori, Creation, all the brands? But he was paying me shit. Sorry. But Craig was like, hey, you got to move to SF, because this is when he still had the warehouse and the Mission. And I was living in a studio apartment in Hollywood. I think my rent was like $700 a month. Same size studio in SF was $1,200 in a Tenderloin, where motherfuckers are smoking crack outside your front door. I was like, dude, my rent's going to go up by $500 and there's crack everywhere. Like, this is the
doesn't make
cheapest
sense.
neighborhood in fucking SF. I'm like, dude, you're not paying me enough to like come live in like a crack ass hood. So I was doing this commute on Southwest Airlines, $39 each way, going up to SF like a bunch. And then Craig was like, I'm moving everything to Humboldt. I'm like, well, I ain't moving to Humboldt. Fuck that. Like, that's like the edge of the earth. You might as well just kiss skateboarding goodbye if you're going to be in Humboldt. You know what I mean? Like, but he had like this whole weed business.
Okay.
And this is before all these corporations got into
For
weed.
sure.
He's super pissed about that shit. Because they're
sure.
saying, yeah.
Sure, a lot of people are.
But so that one didn't work out. I was going to take this job managing the Van skate park in Orlando, Florida. Because the only way I could do Najedli's job, damn, I'm going to incriminate myself. I was collecting unemployment. I had Najedli pay me under the table so the government wouldn't know that I was getting paid because I needed Najedli's money and the unemployment just to get by. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You ain't the only person that's ever done that.
So I had to do that for a while, and then when he wanted me to move to Humboldt, I'm like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I got to find another gig because unemployment's going to run out. I've been on this shit for a year and a half. Every month, I'm like, this is the last month. And then I would get a letter like, you got extended. I'm like, fuck yeah. And I wanted to move back to Philly. My mom's like, you can't move back. You got to stay out there till you get a job. I tried to get a job at S. Sebastian Palmer ended up getting the job at the time. I applied for that.
Brand manager?
I applied for that job, had interviews. I'm thinking I'm getting it. Sebastian got it. I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, what else is out there? Who else is hiring? And then I saw this listing for Van's skate park manager. And I was like, fucking Orlando. But in my mind, I'm like, I'll do this job for like a year and parlay it into something else at Van's. So about to take this job, start selling my shit because I'm like, whatever fits in my car is making it to Orlando, and then I'm going to start fresh because I'm like, rent's dumb cheap. I get a 1-bedroom for like $500. Like Orlando's fucking cheap, especially back then. This is like 2010.
Sure.
Rob Washburn from Bones Wheels hits me up. He's like, hey man, are you still looking for a job? Eric Olson, our team manager, just quit to go work full time for Enjoy. I'm like, sick. So I go up there, do an interview, and at the end of my interview, interview with Michael, I was just like, look, man, I got to take this job in Orlando. So I know you're interviewing a bunch of people. So if you could let me know sooner or later if I got it or not, that would be great. Because I have this start date on like April 26th. I got to start working at this skate park in Vans. And Vans is corporate, so they got to do a background check. Like, you're going to be working. You're working with kids, so got to make sure you're not some kind of sex offender,
weirdo guy.
you got to do a drug test. You got to do all this shit. They want to make sure they're not hiring a drug addict. Right. I had to take a CPR class because, like, what if some kid gets knocked out the skate park? You got to do CPR. Like, I had to do all this shit to get hired by Vans, and then Rob hits me up, and then a couple days later, Michael's like, "Don't take the job at Vans. Don't move to Orlando."
And you've been there ever since.
And I've been there ever since, man. 12 years.
Wow.
Congrats. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, bro.
And when I got the job there, like, they have these anniversaries of, like, they do these parties for when people get hired. And I was like, damn, these motherfuckers been here since like the 80s. But it goes back to like what I said. They really take care of the employees well. So there's no reason to leave.
Right.
You know, like,
It's great.
It's
Good
great,
product,
man.
and the bushings too. Thank you for the bushings.
Yes,
bushings.
bro.
We love the bushings.
There might be some in my gift bag for you.
Wait a minute. You got gifts? Wait.
Do I show them on TV?
Yeah, dude.
You guys want to see?
But wait, can we have a gift exchange?
Yeah, it's like Christmas.
gift
Yeah,
exchange.
Kelly,
like
will you do the
Christmas.
honors, bro?
What size? Large?
I'm extra large,
Extra
man.
large?
I gotta hide some of the sweets. I'm working on my Ed Templeton vegan body.
I gotta hide. I ain't showing you this
You know
shit.
what Vern, you know what
Ed's one of my favorites, so Ed knows it, dude.
Ed's great.
Ed's great.
You got to get it out on the show. You know what I love about this episode is we started off with the bones and boom, we circle all the way back around to getting
already
hired and it all worked out
it all makes sense.
beautifully. Wait a minute.
I know.
Look at
Well,
these.
this is like a mug. This one's more for the house or for Roger because
Okay.
it's an Andy Anderson pint glass.
Pint glass.
And I know Roger was riding an Andy Anderson board yesterday. I was
loves
skating the curbs.
He
Yeah,
loves it.
So it's like, and you guys are a fan of Andy. He's right
great.
here in the
Yeah,
neighborhood.
That's my guy, bro.
Let's just check this out. Let's unwrap
yeah,
that because
yeah,
we got to let the people see the
Reveal
nice
it,
little
bro.
Thing.
And
So
this is sorry.
no.
This is so I don't have to drink out of the 9 Club coffee mug. There's a Bones coffee mug. I mean, I don't mind, but I got you guys this Bones coffee mug.
coffee mug.
Oh,
Thank you,
I have some Yeti stuff. I love Yeti.
You got some Yeti? Okay.
Yeti.
What-
Like, I used to know somebody who worked at Yeti, so I used to get hooked
let's
up.
keep this
Oh,
going.
sorry.
Let's keep
Go
it- no,
ahead, go ahead.
wait,
I got more.
You got more? Okay.
Well,
I'm
this
loving
is
the
a big
gifts.
one right
So-
here.
Christmas is around the corner.
so I know Roger skates some rails. I don't know if you guys
I do.
but
I do.
I got some rib bones, for you guys.
Wait a minute. This is a fucking dog bowl.
That's a coffee mug. That's
for you,
for
Chris.
extra coffee.
This is an extra large coffee mug.
That's a sick one. That's a good one.
That's a bowl of cereal in there.
God.
Yeah.
I will put my Fruit Loops in there.
Yeah, Andy Anderson.
Okay, so you got the rib bones.
Yeah.
Sick.
I know you guys. I know Kelly or some of you guys. You like to keep your beverages
keep that little
he's got a
cold,
koozie.
little koozie.
I love this. This is a bones grab bag right here. This is
Yeah.
a good stocking stuffer.
I know some of these guys. The Dragon Wheels are hard to come by, so I
Roger's
brought
favorite.
a couple sets of.
I'll take one.
You know,
of those.
we got them in 54 and 54 and 52.
Oh, perfect.
52. I'll
There
take
you go.
52.
Perfect.
There you go.
Okay.
And
thank you for
of
that.
course,
thank you for that. What would be a visit from Vern without?
you gotta get wax for the curtains.
Wax for days.
Wax.
You always need
Wax.
that. No doubt.
Look at this stocking stuff.
Since Kelly loves the bushing so much, I got you some mediums.
The
Thank
medium.
you. I love the medium.
Meetings
Okay.
are the best.
Drum roll.
And of course, to go inside your wheels, everybody gets bearings. You get bearings, and you get bearings. And I'm like Oprah over here.
Yes.
Wait a minute, these aren't ceramics.
Oh, God, dude, you're not Jimmy Wilkins.
I'm not Mark
Back to
Gonzalez or
budget,
Jimmy
dude.
Wilkins. I
No.
guess I can't get. Okay.
So, also, if you're a Bones team rider and you win SOTY, you get a set of ceramics. Also, as a
There you go.
bonus.
So I either have to pay $160 or win SOTY.
Yes.
Fuck.
Or you have to be MVP of a trip that we go on.
Okay.
So I've only done like a couple of trips, but there's been some, dude. Remember? Oh God, dude, I don't want to throw them under the bus, but remember we did this Europe trip, and I wanted you to come, and the distributor didn't want you to come.
Who?
God, I don't want to say which one.
No, you
but
gotta
it's-
say it now.
but it's-
No, yeah.
It's the country where Katie's from.
Germany.
They didn't want you, man.
Why?
I don't know. You weren't enough of a name or a draw. I don't know.
What year was this?
This was 2014. We did a Bone Swiss to Switzerland. And then since we were doing Switzerland, Germany's like, well, you need to come here also because we're right next door.
Jeremy
'Cause-
Declan?
Nah.
Jeremy who? You say Jeremy?
Germany.
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 I'm sorry.
Because we were just trying to do the Bone Swiss team in Switzerland. And so we flew into Switzerland, but then Germany got extended. But
wait
there
a
was
minute,
like,
wait a minute.
so I
He's
was
trying to break this down. You
So-
know?
I want to break it down.
So I hit up everybody on the team at the time, like, who's available to go to Europe for
Yeah.
a trip between this date to this date? You were available. So I make my list. Distributors make their list, their wish list of guys, and be like, that guy's not available because they got other obligation.
Right.
But I got this guy. You were the first one to get crossed off the list.
Oh.
And I was trying to bring you. I wanted to bring you. You were on my list.
Is that guy still in this industry?
Yes, very big within the industry.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, you're never coming on my show. You're the first one. Cross off the list to come on my show.
Very, very big in the industry.
You know what's
One of
funny,
our
though?
biggest
You know
distributors.
what's funny, though?
Didn't
is
want you
like-
to come though.
It's fine because like I don't because like that kind of stuff happens a lot.
No doubt.
Yeah.
You know,
It
it's
does,
like
it
there's
does.
certain people that the distributors want over there
Yeah.
that maybe are hot at the time. They have
Yeah.
the best selling boards over there
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they
yeah.
want to push. And
Yeah, yeah.
So I get it. It's not a big deal, but he'll
That's
never
happened
come.
to me
No, he'll
too.
never be on my show.
It's happened to me too, kid. It's happened to me too.
It's happened to you too?
Yeah.
That
Definitely.
sucks.
For sure. Everybody can't go. That's just what it is.
I think it does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
No doubt.
You'll tell me after the show, though, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Is that it? Are we done?
Vern,
Am I
we're
outta here?
done, bro. Well, no, we're not done.
Dude, I have
Hold on.
so many stories I didn't even
Well,
get to.
Guess what? You're gonna come back. We're gonna have a nice stop and chat. We're gonna kick it because we want to hear more stories.
Dude, I didn't get to talk to you about you and the listen video, like Tim Dowling's listen video, and like
What do you mean?
I didn't get to talk about you
Why do you want to talk about me?
because I love that video. And
Is that what inspired the name for Listen Skateboards?
kind of more or less.
Yeah.
But and then going to your house when you lived with McKinley
Robbie,
because
yeah.
Grecky would always stay, and I had to
Greg-
pick up
yeah.
Grecky at your crib.
German
And-
stayed there for
yeah.
a while there too.
Yeah.
So crazy.
And then I got this dude, the FTC video, and Mary J. Blige is like in my head, man.
See?
There you go.
See?
That's
See?
like
You
dude,
own
that
that.
video
Let me
part
just
is
ask
so
you.
good.
Let me just ask you real quick. On video parts, like that becomes your song, right?
Yes.
Now, if it's used again, how do you feel about that?
Pissed because
I
I
knew you would
associate it with that skater.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. What if someone uses Smooth Operator and it's not Chico?
That's what I was saying too.
you
I
know what I
said
mean?
same.
so.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Here's a question though. does it depend on the caliber of the skater in the video?
Yes.
Just because the part is whatever and they skate to it, then
but these are iconic videos.
They are iconic.
Like FTC,
videos.
Anything Girl in Chocolate. That's iconic, man.
Yeah.
You can't, this goes.
See, this is a good conversation,
I'm
bro.
just saying,
on like what you shouldn't and shouldn't
that's
do.
a violation.
It really does depend on the skater and the caliber of what's going on.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
For those wondering, we did have a discussion with Jamie Foy on his episode about this whole topic and ABDs and stuff like that. It's great.
Now
But
the ABDs don't even matter these days. They do and they don't. It depends on what it is.
So, like,
depends
who's
on the
going to front?
caliber.
If somebody front crooks El Toro,
Jesus, it's more power to them.
Jamie
That's
Foy.
hard.
Foy did.
But if
one
someone
else
else does it,
That's a lot,
That's hard.
dude. Yeah.
It's hard.
hard, but it's already been done
you
by
might-
Jamie
Yes.
Foy.
Yeah, you might want to take that front crook somewhere else.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I don't know. It's hard because there's so many ABDs these days.
I know.
So
Kids think they're making up shit, and they're like, no, you got to go watch this video.
Yeah. bro.
there's a lot of skaters like that. The younger ones.
First of all, Yeti,
Yes.
9 Club. You got to stay hydrated out there, Vern.
Yes, I do.
By the way, thank you for the
Yeah.
Yeah,
bearings,
thank you very much.
the wheels,
Yeah.
the enormous coffee cup. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
You were around Jason Lee. We did a Jason Lee money shirt,
One of my favorites. I'm still trying to emulate that tray
but
flip.
we did a Bitcoin,
we are.
also a Bitcoin. So there's 2 shirts in there.
Yeah.
We got a money shirt and a Bitcoin.
I need the backside flip and a tray flip. And I could be Jason Lee.
When you get the cover of Thrasher.
Oh, that's never going to happen. Oh, man. Can we talk about how I almost had to cover Transworld and it didn't happen?
What do you mean?
What?
So there was this article in Transworld, the Pennsylvania article.
Okay.
Had this photo grinding the 4th story of a parking garage. There's like a guardrail, and I'm like on the edge of it, and you could see like how crazy it is because like you could fall off to your death. I got blackballed by Ryan G because he didn't shoot the photo. Kelly Ryan shot it, the other Transworld photographer.
Ooh.
And was Ryan G above?
Yes, Ryan G was above Kelly Ryan.
He shot it down.
Shot it down.
Was it in the magazine?
It was in the magazine, but it wasn't a cover. It was discussion.
Who
at
was
the
who
time.
got the cover?
Can't remember.
You can't
I have that.
remember.
I don't even know if someone from Pennsylvania got it because it was an article for the whole state of Pennsylvania, not just Philly. It was
Okay.
the Pennsylvania article.
Gotcha.
But yeah, because I used to I had a lot of photos in magazines, more photos than footage back in the day.
Well, back
'Cause
then it was easier.
Yeah.
Super
It was
easy.
easier, yeah.
Because we had a lot of photographers at the time in Philly.
Yeah. I remember it was just kind of the same here.
Yeah.
It's like easier to get photos,
Yeah.
sequences, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You remember who beat you out for that cover?
I have the issue at home. I can't tell you who's on the cover because I'm still pissed. I mean, I really don't talk to Ryan G that much. I mean, it's bitter.
Yeah.
A little bitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still
Okay.
feel some type of
Still
way.
feel some kind of way, man.
Okay. Bam. He's not on the
I don't-
cover.
Yeah, if it's Bam, it's okay.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Bam's sick.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a tier list here. We're
Where it's okay.
Bam's great.
Who?
Neil Heddens.
Neil Headings. You pulled the issue up. Look at this guy.
Dude,
Neil
right.
Headings.
Never doubt Raj.
So it was probably something else, something better. Neil Headings.
Boom.
There it is. That's the cover. PA
That's the
article.
cover that
Oh,
beat
wow.
you
I
out.
beat out.
I remember that.
Now are you bitter? still?
Nah, Neil Headings
Okay.
sick.
That's a good shot, though. That's a good
Sick.
shot.
That's
bro.
a good shot. I can't be mad. Neil's sick, dude.
But yours sounded
Kidding
like
me?
a good shot, too. Man.
It's in
Yeah,
there. If
that's
if
fine.
you flip through the magazine, you'll see it. It's in there. It's a good photo. I don't know. You probably can't flip through. But
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just a...
it is what it is.
Well,
Anyway,
this could have been $20 photo incentive on the cover of the
never.
Max.
I'm never getting a cover.
And here's a 9 Club mug for you.
Mug
too.
for mug.
Mug for a mug.
Look at that. I just got to finish my coffee. I don't want to drink on air. You don't need to hear that.
This has been so much fun.
No, I have so many stories.
I
I
know.
could be here forever, but no one wants to hear my shit.
I do.
We all...
Yeah, because you guys are
We
old.
did.
I know
guys
because
are old
I
like
love
me.
it. I love every minute
Yeah.
of Philly stories, and I love.
I didn't even give them all.
Well,
You gotta
there's-
come back.
Yeah, you got to
Left
come
out.
back.
No doubt.
We're gonna come. You're gonna come back and do a stop and chat, and we're gonna continue the. Vern, the
We'll do a
thing
whole
is
segment.
you've been here now. You can come back as many times as you want.
I don't want to wear out my welcome. Just whenever you guys invite me. I don't want to be that guy.
We need some more
We're gonna invite
stories
you
for sure.
soon.
Like when you come back.
I feel like
yeah.
a fucking show conductor right now. With his, Ray Bones.
can do that.
Ray
Dude.
Bones. Dude, Vern, thank you so much.
Hell
dude.
yeah, bro.
It's been a pleasure, bro.
All right.
Come
Thanks.
back, promise.
Thanks. Thank you. Oh, we didn't even talk about my boards on the wall.
We pointed them out, Vern.
We did point him out.
You guys don't even-
me.
But you guys, I got to shout out David Ritchie. You guys know David
Which
Ritchie?
one do you want? Both of them, or you want just one?
Do you guys know David Ritchie?
I'm not sure if I
don't
know
know
David Ritchie used to work at Prime Woodshop.
Oh, Prime.
Back in the hot days of Dwindle.
Yeah.
So it's like I just wanted to shout David out because he actually is sending me something today. He sent me a text. And he's got an awesome comic book store called The Secret Headquarters.
Where at?
It's Silver Lake.
Sick.
Yeah.
I love comic books.
Those are industry guest appreciation boards. Not, I don't know if it's pro, but I did get.
But wait,
I did get.
But it's
royalties.
Surprise Skateboards.
That's a skateboard company that David Ritchie was
okay.
doing at the time.
Got you.
Damn. So my homie Mike Stein drew these graphics.
Sick.
I just want to shout out my friends. It's not about me. It's about my friends. That graphic, the first one that you're holding, it says Vern at the top.
Yeah.
That was originally done for Exit Skate Shop in Philly. It said Exit across the top with the Ripper coming out. But it was like a different, you know, it wasn't that exactly, but it's kind of a take on that.
Right.
And then when I got the job, he's like, hey, man, Pal should do this board like a Ripper of the Philadelphia Fanatic, our mascot. Pal didn't want to do it. So I wish I would have did it. I would have probably sold more boards because they're in more doors than Surprise. I would have got a bigger royalty check. But
And is this a mascot too?
So that's the mascot. That's a photo that's like from the Transworld Philadelphia article. The homie Rasul was sitting on top of the love sign,
okay, gotcha.
and his fist was the eye in Philadelphia for the first article in Transworld that Jeremy Traub shot. Boston OG photographer. Yeah, so he made that because the first one sold so well. We should have stuck with the first. Yeah, the second one. Nah.
Let me ask you a question. Did you get a surprise? Did they surprise you with turning pro?
I kind of knew it was happening because we had ads in Thrasher for the boards,
Okay.
and I had video parts to come out.
Got you.
For the boards.
Gotcha.
So the second board's actually the retirement board.
Oh, so this was the turning pro, and then how long? A year later.
That was a year later. I was already done.
It's just like the Tampa story, you know, the Tampa Am.
Everything in my life.
First Tampa Am you enter, the second one you retired, you're filming it.
Everything is short-lived in my life. One and done. But there were shirts to go with it, and the shirts did all right.
Dude, congrats on the success in being a pro skateboarder. For being Tampa Am, you know, retiring after a year. It's incredible. No, but seriously though, like, dude, you've been a big part of the skate industry, especially with Bones and traveling. Even though that a distributor denied me, you know, but
and 4-in-1, thank you for that. I'm a
4-in-1.
huge fan. I grew up
bro.
on that, and
Yeah.
thanks
And
for
your
sponsoring me.
Some of the best things I filmed in 411 were those station IDs. I filmed the Dr. Dre one.
Oh, those were like, this is
Yeah.
Dr. Dre, you watching 4-in-1.
Yeah, I filmed the Ian Mackay one. That was like another one that was like big up for me.
that's dope.
But yeah,
Some cool
It's all
highlights.
good memories, man.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's a part of skateboarding history.
yeah.
So
it worked out.
In many ways, yeah.
All right, we got to get off air. 'Cause
Yeah,
I need to know
sorry.
who this distributor is. Dude, Vern, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Dude, you're gonna get me fired now.
What do you mean?
We might have to cut this out.
No, dude, you know,
We have to cut this one out. Gonna get
you know that I'm
fired.
just having fun.
I know, man.
And I don't give
shouldn't
a,
have
I
said
really
anything.
don't give a
He
fuck.
wants to know, but he's cool.
Yeah, it don't matter, dude.
Yeah.
It
Just say it off air.
don't matter.
No, this is all relative. All relative.
All right. Thanks for having me, though,
Love you,
guys.
Vern.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.